let's do it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 264 of the KBMOD podcast. It is January 29th. What? Wait. Is it really January 29th?
Yes, it is.
It fucking is. Okay.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow. I thought that was a typo. For some reason, I thought it was the 28th. But no, it is the 29th. And
time is just flying.
It is. It has sprouted wings and is quickly flying out of view. 2017, of course, in case you're listening to this in 2054 and the world has been a nuclear wasteland for the last 40 or 50 years, then, well, you'll know that on January 29, 2017, the nukes had not been launched yet. So, just to give you the year. But yeah, we've got Brandon is at PAX this week, so I am hosting. If you are listening or watching live, as you can see, it does say that I'm Volition underneath of my picture. I could only dream of being such a beautiful sex robot like Brandon is, but I'm filling in. Not that I don't normally host the podcast, but usually he's the one that does the the stream itself. But we've got Tim, our boy, Staffu Noob, join us.
Hello.
No stranger to the cast. You've been on here a few times by now, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been here before.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Good. I feel
Always
like you're
a great time having Tim on.
It
I feel
is.
like we need to connect more.
Yeah.
You
We
and
have a
I?
lot in common.
We do. We actually do.
Katie Zen's just really wants somebody that plays Dark Souls. I mean, that's really.
I'll take whatever I can get. Kingdom Hearts is the main bond that we have
Oh, okay.
right now.
He needs another weeb in his life.
Absolutely. Yeah. He needs somebody like-minded to be able to talk about those games, because every time those games come up, Brad just mercilessly shoots him down. I think.
Yeah,
I
it really
I
does.
literally black out. Like it's a problem. But
And I wouldn't normally do this, but we just got a 10,000 bit
It's a lot of bits.
cheer
Mhm.
from DeWitt, okay? And this can go on the audio version for all time, because that is insane.
That's a huge.
Brandon would be
10,000.
seething.
Come on.
Here.
I want claps for the audio version. Come on. I want everybody. That is
Thank you,
incredible.
DeWitt.
DeWitt, thank you for your generosity. We appreciate it very much. And of course, if you have been listening live or watching live, you could have caught that. So, but again, shout out to DeWitt for that massive generosity. You know it's a big deal if it's going to make it in the audio version. So, really appreciate that, DeWitt. All right. So how's everybody's week been? Katie, I'm going to start off with you because I've been asking multiple weeks now about how the
Nope.
whole
Nope,
Damn it.
not this week.
How did you know I was going?
what?
Not this week.
So, a long time ago, I told a story about a Tinder date. So after
Yes.
that, every week we've been checking back, Tim. So
Oh, I know.
Uh,
I know the legacy or the saga. I should
okay,
say.
yeah. No, nothing this week, unfortunately. Happened. I
So-
don't know if I changed my picture and it just doesn't look that good anymore. Like I might have changed like my profile thing on like Tinder, but I've been getting absolutely zero bites.
Yeah, did
and
you-
I've been casting my lures far and wide. But nothing.
So what did
Have you updated your
Yeah.
bio or anything?
This is what
Yeah.
I'm curious about.
No, let me think. I don't think I changed it. I think it should say the same. I don't know off the top of my head what it says, but I don't know. I need to rework it. I need to overhaul it.
So when
Need
you
to
felt
pull a
like you were
valve
getting
and
the
just
most little
completely
nibbles on the
redesign it.
profile, what did you attribute that to? You just think you were casting a wide enough net? You feel like maybe there were just some people.
I don't know. I think there might have been one like picture that I put up that at one certain point in time very well with females, and I just need to experiment, find out the right one. They have this thing on Tinder where it's like smart photo, and it'll like display a certain photo depending on like the biggest positive reaction you get. I don't know, because 0 people have been swiping right. But
Sounds like a
What's
garbage
I turned
algorithm.
that on.
right
What's
there.
100% of 0? No, I'm just kidding.
pretty much. Yep.
Well, no,
I
I'm
don't
just
know,
I'm
but
curious,
trust
man.
me.
All right.
I get some positive stories.
How
I'll let
about
you know.
this? How about
And
this?
some negative ones.
Brad
So
is
what?
a professional photographer. Why don't you fly Brad out to Indiana? Let him, dude. He's pretty good. Maybe do some shots for you. And
Yeah.
I think, Brad, would you be willing to do that? I feel like you would.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What would you shoot? Like, what's the idea? Like, what would you shoot Katie's at if you're gonna make him a Tinder success? what are we looking at as far as like setups? Are you paying me like one
Well,
of my French girls
first-
poses, or what are we doing?
First, let me start out with what not to do.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna refer to, some of you listeners might remember an episode when we had Dan or Hardballer25 on the podcast. Well, he has been on this game as well,
Okay.
and I think
Yeah.
Tim knows where I'm going, but
Oh,
That's where
boy.
my heavy side came from. Yes.
Okay. And what's
But
happening?
he's been struggling, and he's been struggling hard,
Okay.
and basically he's been wondering what's wrong with his profile. So
Okay.
here's I'm gonna read you this tweet and this picture that he has.
Oh,
set up.
I saw this. That's right. Yeah, but read the contents of the profile. Yes.
Okay.
Support.
If I don't find a woman with this profile update, there's no hope for, in all caps, HB Seed Hardballer.
Gotcha.
And so his profile, first you were greeted with a dog in a Batman costume for his first picture.
Wait,
He's
that's his
Dan.
first picture? Wait.
What?
Wait, that's his, it's not him, it's a picture of a dog in a Batman cape, his dog in a Batman
Yeah.
cape.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
And then
Okay.
then his bio reads,
Oh boy.
I have a cute dog. I will buy you food. I am pretty nice, dude. I am not 6 feet and don't want to be. Drinking and smoking is stupid. If you have a 420 friendly in your bio, just stop now. Misspelled. One thinks you're funny. Not look for a Netflix and chill. Maybe some video games and hang out.
Okay.
And then he prompts it with,
Oh.
how much dedicated RAM does it take to run a Minecraft server? And will you join my dad Minecraft for Forge Craft server?
Wow.
Oh God. I just linked it in chat for anyone that wants to see it for themselves.
It's incredible. I have to say, it's an incredible profile, first of all. But yeah, there's definitely maybe a few things that could be changed and maybe cast a bit wider of a net there.
So I think, but the thing is, he's been getting some matches.
Okay.
So, I mean,
well, never
that's-
mind then. Okay. Well, then what are we trying to think?
So I think to go off of, I don't use the app, but what I do know is you want to be like, your description has to be like spontaneous, off the wall, just like
Right.
not
But she
actually about you,
definitely,
but maybe like
I'd say
kind of
Hardballer's
funny.
displaying all of that there. I mean, that thing is that thing's all over the place.
Yeah. And then the picture, I would say, I don't know.
It's okay to have your pets in there, but like for the main picture,
Yeah.
you may want to
It
just.
needs to be you
This is
by
more directed
yourself,
towards Hardballer than
right?
Katie Zen, but you may want to have a picture of yourself as the first impression.
You want to have a picture of yourself and your dog. That way you're succeeding on both fronts because they see, oh, cute dog.
Mhm.
Oh, and this guy's kind of cute too. That's the ideal reaction, you know. So you don't want to have, just your dog and that, but you definitely want to have a picture with your dog. My one picture on my profile is me and my dog, and I'm holding a selfie stick. So we're touching on all three fronts there. It's kind of trendy also.
No, I think
You're
maybe
holding
that's
a
your problem there. I think the selfie stick is what's
No,
wrong.
you're not actually holding a
No.
selfie stick. No, you're not. Are you trolling?
No, I'm definitely holding a selfie stick and getting a picture of me and my dog.
There's your problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'd
that's your problem.
say-
It's not a
dude.
bad picture.
It's
It's
not even that-
2017.
it's a
The
bad
selfie sticks are
picture.
gone, man.
Yeah, selfie sticks are a little dated. I think that might be your issue.
That's like the guy that goes to see the Mona Lisa and then takes out his iPad Pro to take a picture of it.
Oh.
He takes his iPad Pro out of his fanny pack, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
exactly.
not who I want
No,
to be.
no. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. All right. Well, I mean, at least, you know what? It sounds like you're willing to switch it up a little bit. So I think, I'd be really
Yeah,
curious at what the contents of your actual, profile are. Like, do you mention video games in it? At all?
I think I say Squirtle is the right choice at one point.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. All right. I mean, that narrows it down. It's like, okay, certain girls will know what that means. So it's
Mhm.
like, all right.
But
Hey, man.
if girls don't know what it means, it's not that offensive. It doesn't really sour their impression of me.
Right. Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Okay.
All right.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Hey, man, I'm rooting for you. And I also say I don't envy any of you guys out there trying to, score some dates or whatever. Like those days are obviously long over for me. I'm in a very happy, committed relationship. But you know, there's just so many different
Yeah, okay,
apps.
brag some more.
No, it's not bragging. I'm saying I'm not doing this to antagonize. I actually, you know, I'm rooting for you. There's so many things to get rejected from nowadays, like Tinder.
It's
and
tough out there.
There's a lot of like, you know, Grinder. I mean, who knows if I was out there on Grinder, I don't even know if I'd get a match.
Ask Hardballer.
Yeah, be a little scary. Hardball, I said, Katie Zen, I will write you a page. I will get you a baby in your belly. Wow, you in the belly.
Will.
Hardballer will write
I'll
a page
gladly
that'll
take you up
actually
on
get
that
you
offer.
pregnant. How do you feel about that?
Oh, get me pregnant. I mean,
Yeah, no, he's gonna get you pregnant.
I don't.
with
I
his
was on
profile.
board until I was getting pregnant. I don't know how that's gonna work.
You ever
out,
breastfed
but
before? It's an
If
incredible
you want
joy.
to, hardballer. If you want to write my profile for me, I will definitely rock that.
Okay,
You should,
can we
and
get
then
you
report
saying?
back. Yeah.
Can we?
I will. Yeah.
Because what
next
if
week.
he writes you this insane profile and you start getting like so many more matches? Well, oh my god. Hardballer, start writing
Oh,
that
that'd
up
be
because
great.
then even if you only run it for like a little bit, you don't have to run it forever and see what happens.
Yeah, just
Run
seriously,
it for
just do a week.
See what happens.
Yeah, I'll do a week or two, and then and if I get no matches again, I can always blame it on hardballer. So it's
There
a
you go.
win-win.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And in return, I'll give you 100,000 bits. No, I'm
wow.
just kidding. That's-
Okay, yeah, careful with that. But
Yikes.
okay, no. That was just not said. I don't know where that came from.
by the way, did DeWitt do another 10,000?
Yeah, DeWitt is officially the sponsor of
yeah.
episode 260.
DeWitt, I think that's
Yeah.
20. I think that's 20K bits here. So
Yeah.
official sponsor. I agree, Brad. Fantastic.
So Hardballer's one. Hardballer threw a bit. in
Hardballer
there
did throw a
too,
bit in, and
so.
somebody else did 100 as
Ooh.
well. But anyway, yeah. Thank you, DeWitt, again for your generosity. Crazy. Okay, so there we go. What else has been going on? Brad, Tim. We'll talk about what we've been playing, but any stuff?
Nothing for me. I've been in between jobs, so just literally nothing until I start next week.
Yeah.
So
okay. And what about you,
just
Brad?
actually been binge watching Doctor Who. I started that up.
What?
Like
the
from
first
the
time
ver-
ever,
from the
so-
very like.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I figured I'd give it a chance in this time where I have time, so I don't hate it. So I take back most of the stuff I've said about it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. What have you said about it in the past?
Just Doctor Who cares. That's pretty much it.
Oh,
but
okay.
that's enough to trigger anyone. So
Wow. Yeah.
I've not heard that before.
Really?
That's a good one.
That sounds like a great Pepe troll on the Twitters.
I actually can't stand the series at all. It's just like it does not entertain me.
doesn't do
whatsoever.
anything for
I
you.
can see why it wouldn't for a lot of people.
I've just been turned off
Like-
because of the people that are fans of it. To be perfectly honest, I've never even watched
that
an
is
episode
part
to
of
be
it
able to
for me,
judge
too,
it. But certain fandom for certain things, you're just like, okay, I bet it's good, but these people are out of their fucking minds. However, I'm sure I haven't tried it, so I probably would. What don't you like about it, Brad? Because we like a lot of similar things, so maybe you wouldn't do anything.
What
for
I
me
didn't
either.
like about it, I don't know. It's just like the Brits have a different way of like doing like drama. I don't
Mhm.
know, and it just
the Brits.
It's just a different style. Yeah.
and it's just
I
like
will say,
I'm not really
Sherlock's
into,
new season. Sorry.
oh, it's okay, but yeah, it's just like I don't watch a lot from that genre anyways, and then it's
Mhm.
just done in such a different way that it was like, I don't really see the hype here, so I'm just gonna, I don't know.
Cool. Have you guys seen a season of Sherlock, or do you watch Sherlock at all?
I'm waiting for that's a show I like to just watch the whole series on one day. So I'm just waiting
Yeah.
for everything to be out. Unless it's already
Oh,
out,
yeah.
then I'll watch it this
Yeah, all
week.
3 episodes are out right now.
Oh, well, then I'll watch it this week sometime.
Awesome.
But I do enjoy that show. It's
Cool.
Yeah,
a
I'm
good
just
one.
kind of like not watching it. There's you know what it is? I'm in a situation when it comes to shows that I'm over. There's so many that I need to. Basically, I finished. I caught up on Mr. Robot. Like I'm fully caught up. So after that, but there's like Stranger Things. There's like 5 or 6 Netflix shows I want to watch. Stuff on
Mhm.
Amazon I want to watch. Amazon Prime. And I'm just like, I'm crippled by something I've talked about in this cast for years, by choice. There's so many things. I'm almost scared to start anything because I'm like, oh, and then I started, what's the new Netflix series? It has, I'll look it up. But anyway, I did start like one thing the other day, and I was like, I got like 15 minutes in, and I was like, I can't commit. And I had to stop, even though I was enjoying it. So I don't know.
Is
I
it
have
the
some
one with
kind of-
Jason Momoa?
No, it is,
Is there's that one I want to watch that he just pretty much goes around and kills a bunch of people. So
Yeah, no, but I do want to watch that one too. I don't know, man. Netflix just has so many good shows and options, but like
they're coming out with a lot of original stuff.
yeah, and most of the
like,
originals are
a
really good.
lot recently, it seems.
Yeah. So anyway, I just have to bite the bullet and finish one. But
I've been
Yeah.
watching some of you gearheads out there like have been probably keeping up with the Grand Tour with, like,
I've been keeping up with that.
yeah, the old Top Gear crew. Literally, I mean, like the film crew and some of the writers and stuff like that, I guess, have moved over to the Grand Tour to work with Clarkson and all of them, and I actually like it. I like it better. I've been watching that every week. I've been watching Viceland, like that network and their shows recently. No movies. I don't know what's with this time of year, but like nothing's coming out. You know.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's new film. Come on, man.
I'm not watching that. garbage.
Go watch it, Brad.
Oh, damn.
I'm
Have you
watching
seen it, Scott?
No, I'm gonna actually. I'm watching it this week. But I've heard. We talked about it last week with Copper, but he said it wasn't necessarily a movie for him, but he said it wasn't a terrible movie. And I'm hearing we talked about it last week, but the performances and stuff are pretty solid overall in it. So, and again, for Shyamalan, as somebody, he's from the Philly area, he's a Philly local guy. His fall from grace, everybody knows. Like he hasn't, So anything that is even if it's just not terrible, that's like it's sad.
That's a step up for
That's
him.
enough for me. Yeah, that's enough for me to be like, all right, I'll go back to the theater.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're generally right, Brad. I think it's kind of weak for movies right now. I hear you on that. But again, I think also when I am watching TV shows and stuff and all the original content, also network television. Can we talk about network television for a minute here? Because it's still a pretty big. There's one network television show that I watch, and it's our boy Jack Bauer, aka 24. He plays. Basically, he becomes president of the United States. It's Designated Survivor. I don't know if you guys have seen this or.
Is that show any good?
It's okay.
I saw like the hype for it leading up to it, but I
Yes.
just never like got into watching it.
It's.
'Cause
I don't
only
know if
see
I
him as
would
Jack
say it's
Bauer.
like good. It's not offensive to me, and it's really cheesy in a lot of parts, and it's kind of like what you come to expect from kind of network television. But I want to see where they go with it, basically. But there is there's this glaring disparity for me between like network drama shows and basically anything either on like cable or like Netflix and stuff like that. And I think it's probably a generational thing too, but it feels like noticeable quality things where like I'll even try to sit and if I'm just like flipping through stuff and I'll watch this, I'll be like, oh, this is on NBC, and I'll be like, this is rough. This is pretty terrible. I guess you guys even watch cable or have cable? Maybe you
The
don't
only
have the same
network show
issue.
I watch is The Blacklist.
Okay.
And
How is that? Like I haven't watched The Blacklist. Is that pretty good?
it
Yeah,
starts off really good, and it's kind of gone in like in a crazy ass direction lately, but I still enjoy it. But like I don't know, and overall, like how good is it actually standard? It's probably
Right.
not that great, but I still like it. So
Okay.
that's why I keep up with it.
That's fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. There definitely just seems to be just like for the amount of like, oh, I could get Netflix and watch 9 or 10 original series and binge watch them, and they're all like, the budgets are, they have huge budgets and they're all really well done. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
I just keep Fox News up all day.
Oh, that's smart. That's good. Well, at least that way you're not getting the fake news. You know what I mean? You're getting the real stuff directly from our Lord Emperor's mouth, dude. Directly to Fox News. I usually watch Sean Hannity interview Donald Trump for all the hardball questions. My favorite. Anyway, what have we been playing this week as far as video juegos? Go
Real
ahead, Caleb.
quick,
Yeah.
Heartballer has sent me my Tinder profile.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
please do tell.
I'd like to do a reading real quick. It starts off in all caps. I'm Am Dave. You can call me, and then it switches to lowercase. Amazing, lol. Get it? Because amazingly nice. I love video with a nice voice. I have a cute dog, love dogs. I take looking for woman, and then it's in all caps again. Dave need nice woman space exclamation mark
Oh.
in the classic hardballer punctuation. P.S. I have that we can share. I don't mind sharing. Sometimes I even share the same water bowl as my dog.
Okay.
Right swiped.
Oh no.
Right swiped equals love. Now that is a winner. Right
Wow.
there.
God.
That I don't see how that can't work.
Dude, there's no way that doesn't work. There's no way that you will alienate every woman in your area when you post that for 3 days as your Tinder profile. But
Pretty much, yeah. We'll see.
I'm excited for you to see how that works. Hardballer, thank you
We'll
very
see.
much.
Thank you so much, man.
Wow.
Dan, thank you.
That is
Yeah,
fantastic.
please report next week. Tell us what you get.
Yeah,
So,
definitely let us
Absolutely.
know how it goes. Wow. Well, Hardballer works fast. Also, again, our sponsor of this podcast, DeWitt, with another 5,500 bits. Continuing, again, this episode, 264, brought to you by KBMOD supporter and longtime friend, DeWitt. Thank you. All right, so let's start with Tim here since he's joining us this week. Tim, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot because between jobs, so
Mhm.
I got nothing but time for games.
You don't have to
So I'll-
justify it, Tim.
I'll
You
go
can
through
just-
most of
just
these
tell us.
quickly. Been playing a lot of the XCOM 2 Long War 2 mod that came out
Mhm.
about a week and a half ago now. That shit is brutal. Like XCOM 2 is a tough game in itself, and then if you don't know anything about the Long War, I guess mod or anything like that, there's a Long War mod that came out for XCOM 1, just a modding team, group
Mhm.
of guys that got together and basically expanded the game, made it a lot tougher, added a whole bunch of like new missions and all that stuff, basically to elongate the game. But they also increased enemy AI and all that stuff in the game too to make it a lot tougher to kind of like read your movements and learn your patterns and all that stuff.
Mhm.
At least it feels like. So they did that for XCOM 2, but they did it in like they were working with the devs for XCOM 2 with it as well. So
Hmm.
it's a lot tougher, it's a lot more involved, but it's really well done too. It's really really good. It's tough. You have to read everything, and it's gonna take a lot of trial and error. Like I just had to delete a save today because I ended up losing about 12 squads in total.
Oh, my.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough, but it's really good as well. Whenever you do like learn something, whenever you figure out how something works, it gives you that feeling like, oh man, so this is how this works, and it's like a light switch clicking off, and it's just like you don't have a problem with that anymore. But it's just learning how the different things react and go from that from there. So
Nice.
it's really good. If you're a fan of XCOM, I suggest trying Long War 2 mod out. If you're not into XCOM, if you've never played an XCOM, don't install the mod until you've beaten the game at least twice,
Yeah.
because it'll just make you hate your life even more.
At
So-
least twice.
Wow.
At least twice.
Okay.
And on increasing difficulties as well. Like I beat the game on veteran and commander, and then I'm playing Long War 2 on rookie because it's that much of a drastic difficulty difference. But it's really well done though. I bravo to them is really what it is.
Nice.
Next I've been playing Tales of Symphonia. It's my very first Tales game I'm playing through. It's a huge, JRPG series that
Mm.
everyone that's into JRPGs like loves. So I've been playing that recently. I really enjoy it. It's kind of a broken PC port, but there's some fixes out there for it. So it's working out, and I'm enjoying it so far. So that's all I have to say about that, really.
Okay.
Forza Horizon 3. Been playing a lot of that recently too. Kyle talked about it a little bit last week, but a bunch of us get together and just play it a bunch. So just a fun game. It's an arcade racer, and you can customize your cars and you just kind of go. So it's a good time. And then the big one, which Katie's then is excited to talk about, is Kingdom Hearts
Mhm.
0.2 and Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. It came with the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 came out on Tuesday, and it
Go
the
ahead
big
and tell
one.
us the full title of this game.
It's which one?
It's just the whole compilation.
It's
It's
2.8 is Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep.
Wow.
And then with it is also Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance is another playable game. And then there's a movie with it called Kingdom Hearts Key Back Cover, I think is what the whole thing is. I haven't watched that yet,
Mhm.
to be honest.
Wow.
But
Yeah, me
0.2 is it's a brand new kind of story setting for Kingdom Hearts, where it's in the engine that they're gonna make Kingdom Hearts 3 in. So it's in the Unreal 4 engine, and
Okay.
it's fucking beautiful.
Mm.
Is the only thing
It
I
looks so goddamn good.
It is fucking beautiful. The choice to use Unreal 4 is the best decision they've ever made because Unreal 4 just has some of the best lighting effects of
Mhm.
any of the engines out there right now. And with all the spell effects that they have in the game and all that, everything looks fantastic whenever you just do anything in that game.
Mm.
Cool.
So
And one more thing too about the graphics is like there's so many times it's like I know I'm exaggerating, but it was just surreal to me because this is the only other Kingdom Hearts game we've gotten that has evolved past like basically PS2 style graphics because new games they've made were all on like portable systems, so they've all been the same kind of visual style. So this is like the first game that has been, and like the jump is just so massive. Like you go into a few like older areas in the game again in Unreal 4 is just fucking mind blowing.
yeah,
But,
like it's the first
yeah.
it's the first new console experience for Kingdom Hearts in 11 years was what it was put out to me. So it's kind of a big deal. But it was enjoyable. I played it on a PS4 Pro is what I have. And
Okay.
my only gripe with it is that at times it played at 60 frames, but other times it dropped to like 30. And they either need to optimize it so it plays at 60 frames the whole time or just lock it at 30 because that drop from 60 to 30, no matter what, is going to be jarring. So that's my only real complaint with it is that if I know it's kind of like a tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 is really what it is, and I realize it is that. But it's promising to where I feel like they can get it to run at 60 frames by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. But if not, I really wish that they kind of lock it at 30 just so it doesn't get that jarring experience during certain sequences of the game and stuff like that.
Nice.
But I mean, that's pretty much all I've been playing. But I did that. And then Dream Drop Distance was a port from a 3DS game. They remade it for the PS4 because they're working to get all the games on PS4. Because one thing that they'd fuck up with the whole series was they put it out on 5 different consoles. So they're working to get it all onto one. That way everyone can experience it on one console. So while they have fucked up with that in the past, they are kind of trying to atone for that leading up to the release of Kingdom Hearts 3. So that is kind of nice.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's some people see it as a money grab, which it may as well be because they are reselling the games again and again and again.
Absolutely.
So, but that's Square Enix for you, to be real honest.
Yeah. And I think about 1.5 and 2.5, and it's like it's obviously a cash grab, but at the same time I've heard, and I'm not sure if it's clear or not if they're going to be 60 FPS or not, but
They are.
Okay, yeah, I mean honestly that's a guaranteed buy for me. Like if Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be in 60 FPS I have to buy it.
Yeah, but when they release 1.5 and 2.5 on PS4 in March, they're all going to be 1080p 60, all the games. So
whereas the PS3
on my Nintendo Switch,
on your Nintendo Switch, yeah, at 900p.
Yeah, but only on the docked mode. If it's mobile, it goes down to 480. Sorry, bud.
No, I heard 240. Undocked.
Oh, okay. But
it's actually a
Is that
tube
on-
TV. It just
Ugh.
oh no.
God. Painful.
All right, was that all, Tim?
Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go next because I want to talk more about Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, so I feel like the best way to describe the new game is basically Kingdom Hearts 3 Ground Zeroes. If you're familiar with how they kind of did Metal Gear Solid 5, where they took like the first part of the game or like the beginning of the game and basically broke it off and sold it by itself. But in my opinion, like I have a really hard time selling the game at $60 because the only new experience you're getting is 3 hours long with I mean not a lot of incentive to replay it. And then Dream Drop Distance, I mean it's good, and right now it's still valued at like $30 on 3DS. And I mean in my opinion, Dream Drop Distance, that's my favorite game of the series, honestly.
It's playing it on PS4. I was worried how they were going to port it from 3DS and do the 3DS stuff on the PS4, but they did that all very well, like really well, I feel. And
Yeah.
after playing it on the PS4, I would have to say it's up there as like one of the top games in the whole series for me, just for gameplay wise. Just it was a fun game, fun, fast paced game. To
Oh,
play.
for sure. And the party system too, instead of having like Donald and Goofy, you basically have this kind of like Pokemon system going on where the all the enemies in the game have like a good counterpart to them, and you can make them for your party. And when you level, the way you get new abilities and new skills in the game is by leveling up your party members. And like it's just a system that I love much more than having like static party members. So that's got that going for it. But yeah, that's been really fun. But other than that, also I'm continuing Skyward Sword, and I hear it gets really good, but I'm having a hard time going through it because it just seems like and maybe it's because I finished a Twilight Princess like 5-6 months ago, which I mean maybe that's too soon because everything just feels so samey. It feels so formulaic, like classic Zelda. Zelda gets kidnapped, you have to go embark on a quest, and it's like you're going through like new areas, like, oh, look at this odd shape of rocks, I will need bombs for these. Oh, I got the bomb bag now. And it's just so many things, like it's doing the same old tricks before, and the motion control is really starting to piss me off. Like, just for like one example of where it really doesn't register that well, one of the common enemies is like this kind of goblin dude that holds up a sword. And depending on how he holds his sword, you have to block in a certain direction. So say he's holding his sword to the right. So I'm like, okay, I got to swing from the left. But at first I'll, clank with this sword and I'll hit on the right side. But the act of me moving my hand over to the left side to hit him the right way registers as a swing. And this happens multiple times. So I'm sitting there just hitting him in the same spot over and over. And it sounds small. I get super mad at that game. I just have to. But I mean, hopefully it gets better.
Are you
I
playing
do
on
want to finish.
the Wii or the Wii U?
Yeah. No, I'm playing it on the Wii U. But I tried to get it emulating, and I got it working. But I'm not sure what it is. I've got my Wii remote hooked up Bluetooth. I've got a sensor bar, and I've switched back and forth in the same setup. I'm like literally sitting at the same spot using the same controller, same sensor bar, and it works just fine. Like as far as like motion detection goes, it works pretty well on the Wii U. But for some reason, when I emulate it, I just have terrible issues with like the tracking on my remote. I like lose connection with it often. I'm not sure if it has to do with like my Bluetooth receiver being shitty, not capturing my remote that well. But I mean, at this juncture, I'm already at the second dungeon. I don't want to restart the game. But
fair enough.
yeah, and it's a good looking game on the Wii. Anyways, like they do this kind of watercolor filter where like it's only 480p, so stuff in the distance they kind of turn it into like the kind of dot painting you see in like watercolor paintings. So it actually ends up turning out pretty nice. I still don't looks. I don't think it holds a candle to Twilight Princess or Wind Waker though, in terms of like visuals. But yeah, I've been enjoying that, and Rocket League, and then I will talk about Resident Evil 7, or do we want to wait on that?
No, we'll wait
or-
because
Yeah,
we can
we'll wait.
we
I
can
haven't
segue.
gone
But you've played it, so
Yeah, you've played it.
Yes, yeah, I played Resident Evil 7,
Okay.
but I've not finished it.
Okay. Don't worry, we'll just spoil the whole fucking thing for you. No, we'll stay spoilers.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Gotcha.
cool. All right, Brad. What about you?
More H1. Still, they updated it, and as far as I can tell, it's still a
Still
broken
broken.
piece of shit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how's the hit reg?
Tried playing Rust again, but I think after my server got wiped, I think that was it for me for
Right.
a while.
Yep.
And then I've been playing For Honor.
Yes,
Um,
I'm glad you brought that
liking
up.
that?
I'm glad you brought that up. I was gonna ask about that. What are your thoughts?
It is gratifying, and probably it is one of the more gratifying and most frustrating games I've played in a while.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but it's like when you get against a person, you basically have to defend yourself, and there's like 3 points you can defend yourself: to the left, to the right, or above.
Right.
And like you can see where the other person is like going to attack from.
Yep.
And like if you're not accurate and quick, like you will die on the spot. Like if the other person's any good. So it can be pretty frustrating because I imagine there's a lot of factors that go into it. Like I'm already not on the best connection, so I probably am going into it with like 100 plus ping as is. And I think the way they're doing servers as well is like somebody in your lobby is hosting it. I don't think they're dedicated servers, which is kind of interesting. And then what else? I don't know. I just feel like it's a little clunky.
How's the game
And
actually run? Because I've seen
Oh, right.
streams of it, but it all seems like everyone's like locked at 30. I'm not sure if it's just how they stream or whatever, but like it seems like
Oh.
it's like it seems like it doesn't get to 60 frames, but it could just be the stream that I'm watching.
I think that might be the streams because I have absolutely no problem running it. If
Okay.
anything, I run a 1070 and i7 though, so I mean,
Well, okay, never mind.
Oh,
then.
Mr. Big
So
Dick over here. Yeah.
I'm kind of out there. So
He's kind of
Um,
alpha man. But no, so I played
yeah.
it too. I played it too, Brad, and I totally agree with the frustration part, but also the gratifying part when you do have a really good. So, what did you think of the game modes? This is what I wanted to hear from you because I felt I did like the 4v4 mode. I felt I didn't really enjoy, but the 2v2 1v1s where it's just straight up, battling another person, I really enjoyed. To be fair, I didn't play enough of the 4v4, but it just didn't seem like my kind of thing.
So I didn't even touch the 1v1, but
Okay.
I did do because I knew my connection was kind of like
Yeah.
I think was going to play a big part in that. But the 2v2 I felt like was pretty fun just because I don't know, it just felt more intense. Like in some of the maps that you can play on the 2v2, like you literally battle on a bridge or something like that, and you have to try and like not be pushed off or fall off, or like try and get the other person off the edge. And it can be really satisfying, or it could just like really ruin it.
Or it just
for
falls
you.
apart. Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I personally like the 4v4. I know my friend that he's admittedly better at games than me. Like these type of games. He liked the 2v2 better. But I like the strategy in the 4v4 a little more because for those that don't know, it's basically Mountain Blade but with like 3 capture points and like a little similar combat system, but basically you have to try and hold on to these points and get so many of these little soldiers killed while trying to stay alive and kill the other Vikings or samurais or whatever it may be.
Capture points, yeah.
And so I like the strategy and like the team play for the 4v4. But I mean, I still enjoyed 2v2s too. So
yeah. For me, just to piggyback off of that, also how it ran straight up without me changing any settings. It ran like fucking butter. I thought that was one thing that actually surprised me about it because I was like, beta, it'll probably be.
It looks beautiful.
It's really pretty, and my rig, I have a 970 i7, but yeah, it runs really well, and
that's good to hear.
Yeah, and it's really so. Obviously, are you playing with a controller? Did you say that, Brad? Or are you playing with keyboard?
No, I'm playing with keyboard, which I've heard some people saying that you kind of need to play with a controller.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, not nuts. I tried keyboard for a bit, but then I had an Xbox 360 controller that kind of it's like wired, so I could have plugged it in, but it has like one of the sticks is kind of dead on it. So I was like, shit, let me try my PS4 controller. Will it just plug and play? And guess what? I had the game up. I plugged it in, instant, just mapped everything, and I was using my PS4 controller, which I really like the PS4 controller a lot. And
I feel like
it was really good.
I feel like so if you play on keyboard and mouse when you're in this defense stance, and you have to like account for when they're going to attack and stuff,
right?
You really have to travel. At least at my sensitivity,
moving your mouse,
you really have to travel with the mouse to like get ready for the stance, and that screwed me over like a ton of times. So that's why I've heard the controller's better, because it's just like instant instead of having to move the mouse. It's just that much quicker. So
I think so. I think maybe it probably takes more skill to be good with the keyboard and mouse because, like you said, of that, like moving your mouse everywhere, and you got to be really fast and move a decent amount of distance. But yeah, I liked it for what it was. So one thing that we're talking about with my chat is like this game this is a $60 game though, and for me, like this is not in its current form. Like it's fun and it would be a good switch up, and I would definitely like enjoy the duels and stuff. And there's a decent like it's got a pretty deep combat system, and it's definitely rewarding. Learning their different characters and stuff like that, but I don't like for $60. I'm not in on this. Like,
is there going to be a single player to it, or is it just online?
From what I understand, there is some kind of single player portion, but what it seems like it's going to be is like there'll be some story, but it's also going to be setting up like playing through all the different characters you can use, and like
Okay.
So I don't have like a full answer on that, so I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for the single player, but I know there's some kind of portion that they are going to be doing. But
Because I know the multiplayer would just piss me the hell off, and I'm just gonna stay away from it because of that. But
yeah.
if there's a single player aspect, I'll wait for a sale.
Like,
Because
when
the combat and everything looks really intriguing. From a like I'm not like a professional fighting game player at all. I'm terrible at them, but from a fighting game standpoint, it looks like that where like you kind of condition your enemy to, do a certain thing and then exploit that and so on and so forth. So, it looks interesting in that aspect, but at the same time, I can just tell that I would get stuck on one of those minions and get killed, and I would just throw my controller probably because that looks like it happens a lot.
No, it can be really frustrating. And then certain characters, like the matchups, right? You have like characters that are assassin characters that do really high damage and can attack really fast, but if you start getting damaged, then you're pretty much done right off the bat. Like, so there's a lot of risk reward. Like the stuff's pretty cool. I guess so. There is a full single player, but without knowing, I feel like it's going to be one of those. I don't know. I just can feel them doing. There's some cool cinematics actually at the beginning of the beta that's neat, but I almost feel like it's going to be kind of one of those. Like you play through the different characters, and I don't know. I feel like it's going to be filler, but I don't have any like actual facts for that. And I know for me, like I don't give a shit about the single player, so I would only care about the multiplayer. So that also would change my view. If like people that want to play single player, then I guess maybe 60 would make a lot more sense. But for me, it's like I'm not in with it for like 30 or 40 on sale. I don't think I could justify 60. But
definitely, and that's the problem where when it goes on sale, is there going to be people still playing it? That's kind of a huge thing nowadays. It seems.
Yeah.
With multiplayer games.
Yeah, we'll see.
Would you say it feels like you're playing Dark Souls PvP at all?
I think that comparison has been made by some people in my chat. Again, I haven't played Dark Souls much, any Dark Souls PvP, so I can't say. But I have seen people. I don't know if anybody in the chat right now who've played it.
I could see why you would think that.
Really spiked.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there you go. So if you tell Katie Zen that he's buying this, he's going to pre-order. So tell him.
From what I know of the gameplay, it would be nothing like it. Yeah. But then again, I haven't played it, so I don't know for sure.
What are the mechanics for Dark Souls PvP as far as like blocking and all that kind of stuff?
Roll right.
Is it just
It's mainly just about like stamina management and blocking and parrying.
Okay, I mean yes, stamina management is very important.
Yeah, praying your connection holds up.
I literally just clicked pre-order, and it should be shipping pretty soon.
Dang, dude, you're gonna get a physical copy of the PC version. You're a baller.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's like 3 discs.
Collector's edition. He's going for it already.
It actually comes on floppy. It comes on over 450,000 floppy disks. Actually,
Jesus.
That's the only statue of that guy with the beard from E3 included.
Yeah.
You remember that guy who was showing off the game?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that would be great. But anyway, yeah, I'm definitely gonna play more of it, and it's definitely like overall. So sorry, Brad. I know we hijacked and we're all talking about it, but what? So you like it? So you like it overall, though, from what you've played, and we'll play more.
Yeah, I don't think I'll buy it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I think the playability. That's the thing. The replayability. If maybe there were a bunch of different game modes or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I just don't see me playing this long term. So
yeah, and there's no guns in the game as of right now. So until they add a DLC character like McCree from Overwatch, I'm probably out. But
no, I mean, really, what changes it up like match after match? It's just like the PvP. That's it. Like there's nothing really.
Exactly. And also
Like-
one thing to note, so in the 4v4 mode, there's these things. I don't know exactly how it works, but there's certain like bonuses and things you can attach to your character that actually play out in the 4v4 as like these skills and stuff that you can use. I think they're on the D-pad if you use a controller.
Right.
And in the 1v1 or 2v2, it's like all the character stats, like you can't add any of those bonuses. It's basically just like the raw combat and the stats of the characters that you have, which is interesting too. So it's almost like it kind of splinters a little bit. Not necessarily splinters the player base, but it's a little bit a different of experience. It's more kind of like the bigger battle, like you were talking about the strategy and stuff, but also like kind of cooler effects and stuff you see in 4v4, which you don't get. Which it's like, for the competitive sake, I think it's smart to keep it limited, and it's like every character that people play, you know what to expect if you learn the moveset and everything, right? And you're not going to be surprised.
That's pretty interesting. You bring up the competitive aspect.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna try and pull a
Do
Rainbow Six
esports
here and create a competitive
I
scene?
think it
out
would
of
be
this?
really fascinating to. I think it would be pretty cool, like because, I don't know if they'll really push the esports side, but I would love to see like really high level. I think that game at a really high level does have potential.
I've heard some FGC people saying like they could see this at tournaments as
Uh-huh.
a side tournament.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think it. I just from a visual, like from a watching standpoint,
Totally, yeah,
from a spectator standpoint, I don't think it would do too well as a spectator.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think Hearthstone is a great spectator game, but look at
Well,
it.
that's
So
True.
That's true too. But
but I do think there is more skill, like just PvP in that.
Yeah, like
that's-
1v1, there seems to be like a ton of just,
yeah,
But
conditioning your opponents and learning what the different characters can do and knowing what can be done against you if you screw
yeah.
up.
There's
and-
combos,
and
and
how
every
they play and
character has a
stuff,
pretty big
yeah.
move set. So yeah, there's like definitely the fighting game, just portion of it. There's definitely potential. I think it would be interesting. Again, yeah, it's hard to know like if it would catch on or whatever else. But yeah, as a side tournament or whatever else, or just like even it would be. I'd be really interested to see really good like FGC people are really like people that are really good at fighters. Like I want to see Justin Wong pick this game up, and you know what I mean. Like just be interesting to me
yeah,
to see like how
Yeah.
good he would be, and if he would destroy people like you know. So
I don't think, I'm not sure if he's been playing it or not. Let me check.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked
I
it.
forgot to mention something real quick. I bought PS4 Pro a few days ago.
Okay.
I wanted to
okay.
report in. And I actually, as far as like differences on 7 looks noticeably better on there. I played the first half of the new Kingdom Hearts on there on the original PS4 and the second half on the Pro. And just for if anyone's curious, like what the kind of like just an idea of like the differences or like what kind of difference you get. What I played on the original PS4 was like capped at 30. Sometimes areas it would dip down to like 24, 25, and there was a lot of frame stuttering on there. But ever since I got the PS4 Pro, it's been like Tim said, hitting 60 a lot of times, but sometimes dipping down during some pretty heavy stuff. But yeah, I just forgot to throw that in there.
Okay. Brad, what else did you play? Sorry, besides For Honor.
Oh no, that was
about
really it.
Okay, just making sure.
Reinstalled Minecraft. So
Okay. Well.
Oh, don't let Hardballer influence you.
What?
no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
I did look that up though the other day because I saw somebody retweet a developer at Mojang. It was like, oh, that's still a thing. I forgot. And like, you can look up the stats on like how many copies they sold and everything, and it's just unreal how many copies they still sell every
Yeah,
day on
yeah.
PC.
Yeah.
Like
Every
yeah.
day? Like they have
Yeah.
that stat? Oh god.
Yeah. So when I looked on how many copies they sold like the other day, it was maybe at like noon, and they sold 6,000 copies before.
What?
Yeah.
Who doesn't own that game yet? Like I
Wow.
don't play it and I shit on it a lot, but I own it. Like who doesn't
If
own
I, I look right now. Let's see here. In the last 24 hours, Minecraft for PC and Mac has sold 9,600 copies. Minecraft has sold a total of 25 million copies for PC and Mac.
Wow.
But like some indie devs are like, holy shit, I wish that was like my yearly sales, for that many. And like Minecraft selling that many copies in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just amazed by that. I was
That is
So
insane that it's still selling that well. I guess that's good. I don't know video game sales, but if any devs are saying they wish that was their yearly sale, I guess that's still really good.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when you look at it, 9,000 times 25 for just one day, like that's a decent
Yeah,
chunk
that's a
of
decent
cash.
chunk.
It's a
Yeah.
little decent chunk of
And I
change.
think, yeah, and I think as far as PC gaming enthusiasts goes, this is pretty good because I can only imagine younger people are buying this right now, right? Like that's the only demographic I see like really buying into the Minecraft hype train still at this point.
Yeah.
And I think this is only good for PC enthusiasts because I feel like if kids are getting into it younger and younger and more people are gaming on PC, I feel like there's only going to be more support in the long run. But I don't know, just pretty interesting. 9,600 copies in the last 24 hours. Nuts.
Crazy.
That's insane, dude.
All right.
What
Good
about
for-
you, Scott? Yeah,
what
have you
about
been
me,
playing?
man? What have I been playing? I've been playing a decent amount of stuff. So we're gonna
Played
talk.
some CS:GO with your boy.
Yeah, I played some CS:GO with Katie Zen. Katie Zen still proving to be an incredible good luck charm because I think we won both games we played with you, and we were playing in
We did,
non-prime matchmaking, which is basically a cancerous wreck of cheaters. So we won 2 games in non-prime, which
Definitely
is
had a hacker that last game.
the last game. Yeah, we definitely. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I guess we did get 1, but I think maybe we won 2 out of the 3 or something. But no, playing Counter-Strike as always. Obviously, we didn't really. I'll just mention it real quick. The major finished today. Obviously, Astralis won the major, the E-League major in Atlanta. I have to say, production-wise, it was probably the cleanest and most well-run major and had one of the greatest finals of all time. Really exciting. Went to 3 games. Astralis made a comeback in 2 maps, 2 of the maps. So anyway, just exciting. And also, we should talk about this. The highest concurrent viewership ever on any Twitch stream was the CS:GO major final. I forget what the exact number was. I should find the article, but it was over 1 million just on Twitch, and that wasn't including like they broadcast it on TBS and other just watching it Go TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But pretty incredible. So CS:GO as far as
what the
viewership.
YouTube stats were.
Yeah, I don't know, including also YouTube streamed it. It's crazy. It's cool to see. Like as much as like I bitch and moan about the development of CS:GO, none of that changes. But it is cool to see it as kind of the top dog as far as viewership for an esport on Twitch. That's pretty crazy. Especially when you have things like you have things like Dota and stuff like that. I think with Dota there's multiple streams though too spread out. So I think maybe the numbers. I think this stat is for a single individual stream itself. Obviously, events will have streams like different languages and all that kind of stuff, which affects it. But really cool to see CS:GO. Still having those kind of numbers. But anyway, so CS:GO, been playing a ton of Rainbow Six Siege still. I love it. It's so good. It's really good. It can be extremely frustrating, but it's a really, really satisfying game.
Can you get back into that game?
Yeah.
I played it a bunch upon not release, but like about a month or 2 after. I played it a bunch, and I really enjoy it. But that's one game I don't go in taking it too serious, and I think that helps not getting rage induced with that game.
Yeah.
Like I just go around with I think the character is Frost, and I just lay bear traps everywhere.
Oh, you're one of
and
those
just
motherfuckers.
wait for people to walk past because it's
Frost
just
players.
fun to do that.
Yeah. So until this is the thing, until you know, like really learn the maps and know what's going, like that game, I've been saying this with Rainbow Six, but it takes a really long time to start feeling comfortable in that game because you have to learn all of the characters that you're playing against. You have the maps which are multifaceted and so many different spawn points, and then everything that's spammable. It's just like the skill ceiling in that game is really high. But I'm really starting to feel a lot more comfortable now, and yeah, it's really fun. And so while you say you play it casually, I'm like we're playing ranked every day. Like we're and it's like it can be frustrating, but it doesn't tilt me at all like playing like Counter-Strike and some of the other games. And I don't really know why that is because it's annoying to lose, but it doesn't quite have some of the rage-inducing things that other shooters that cause me to flip out in other games. So
yeah, like if you die in that game, the other person just had a better angle on you.
Yeah,
it's not like
usually
you
a
lost
better
the
angle
gunfight
or
because
it can be a
if you get shot,
crazy
you're dead anyways.
Exactly,
So.
because you die so fast. So still enjoying that a lot. Obviously Resident Evil 7, which we're going to segue into here shortly and talk about that as a group. And then For Honor, which we talked about a little bit. I did enjoy that. We'll definitely play more. Actually, the beta, I think it goes to the 30th. I think it's still up tomorrow, so I might play more of that tomorrow. Yeah, and those were the main ones. So let's move on here. Speaking of Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 7. Now this says sells 2.4, has sold 2.4 million copies, but I think they actually shipped to stores 2.5 million copies. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit different than selling them.
Yeah.
But Capcom is counting them as sold basically, but that it is a different thing. But either way, that's a lot of copies to ship to retailers. So it's doing seemingly pretty well. And also, as far as the demo goes, their demo was downloaded over 7 million times, which is pretty crazy for that. And if you haven't really followed the Resident Evil 7 demo stuff, it was something that kind of took the internet by storm, kind of like PT back in the day, and was then updated multiple times to tell more of the story as like a teaser. So you would like. The thing when the demo first came out was there was this mannequin finger and you couldn't do anything with it, and everyone was super frustrated trying to figure out what you could do with the mannequin finger. But then they updated the demo, and then there was another portion of the house opened up and stuff like that, and it kind of told the story and built hype for the release, which was pretty cool. I kind of like the idea of a demo that's free that's kind of also has episodic updates almost throughout, and it did. I think it really. I think that was probably the best marketing for the game because you got to see the new engine that RE7 was on, which has its pros and its cons, at least for me on PC. Like it's certain times it looks really beautiful, other times there's certain texture issues. I feel like that was maybe more performance for me.
It's
With
its own separate engine, right? They made an engine for this game.
It's a proprietary engine that actually made for Resident Evil 7. And I think
Nice.
overall it's pretty solid. But let's just hear beyond those numbers. Let's hear thoughts from. I know Katie said you're not finished with it. Brad, did you play through the whole thing?
No, I was just watching your gameplay.
Okay, you were watching mine. You've watched a playthrough too, right, Tim? So you've seen.
I watched it release night. I watched Maximilian Dude play it in VR.
Okay, so he didn't beat it
so
on release night, but
he was legit terrified multiple times.
That's
from
the
it.
other thing is that this is one of the first. This is basically the first AAA game built from the ground up for VR, which is also cool. And shout out to people playing it on VR and streaming on. Like, I don't think I would have been able to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's
But
next level.
it looks really good. It has me intrigued. It came out the same day as Kingdom Hearts did.
Yeah.
And being between jobs, I had a choice, and I had an obvious choice in my life, so that's where I went with it. But around Halloween time, I'll probably pick it up and play through it myself, just kind of get those Halloween vibes from it and shit.
Yep. Kazan, how far are you
pers-
in?
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, either or.
I was gonna say that like I personally cannot get into scary games. Like I just don't want to put myself into that kind of stress. So like what makes you want to play those horror games where they jump scare you and scare the shit out of you?
I can answer that perfectly.
Story's usually good.
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends on the game. You
Yeah.
know, as far as something, let's say we got Layers of Fear. That game, you've got absolutely no game. It's just like you're walking through a haunted house, and story compelling, which a lot of people did in that one. That's the main motivation to go through it.
Figure out what the hell's going on.
Which that one had a lot of jump scares in it.
Yep.
Do what? Okay.
No, I was just saying that for
Okay.
Layers of Fear. Yeah,
But,
I mean, it's kind of like a haunted house, but I wanted to know what the story was in Layers of Fear, so that's what kept me going for that one too. But,
so with Resident Evil 7, the thing that, like, my main takeaway that I'm in love with this game. Like, I've pretty much, I'm 4 hours in. I just got, I'm at the trailer basically, which really doesn't spoil that much.
Yeah.
There, and on top of being super tense, just you never know what is going to come around the next corner. It's mainly for me just the exploration and like going through like where you go through a hallway and you know that the next piece of a thing you have to find is down the set of stairs, and you've already been introduced to like a new enemy, and it's around this time that you get the shotgun, so you feel like you have a fighting chance, and it's just mainly in RE7. It really feels a lot like it's channeling Resident Evil 1, like perfectly made modern for like a new, for PS4 to like for a whole new generation, where like not having a loading screen at every door and exploring like, first person, it just feels so good. And as far as like the combat goes, once you become like well acquainted with somebody, like there's this, I mean, it's like the first real monster you see in the game. It's not really a spoiler, but once you realize, I have I have a certain amount of ammo I can work with. The shotgun can one-shot him. I can, and there's like crafting too, which is and then you have like inventory space.
Yep.
So
Inventory management. All that.
I'm rambling. Mainly, what I'm getting at is just the feeling of exploration and just the sheer like. I mean, I get a big thrill out of like the tension, and like to give you an idea, like this is a game. I say all this, but I would really struggle playing through this by myself. Like my atmosphere when I played this, I had a bunch of people over. It was probably like 7 or 8 people in one room playing this game, and we had the lights turned out. We were all still freaking out like from this game. It was scary, like even in that setting. But yeah, it was. That's mainly my takeaway from it. It's just on top of being super scary, it's such a game. Like there's so much in there. I love it.
Now, my question for you guys who have played it is it like it's titled Resident Evil 7, right?
Yeah.
So is it
Yeah.
from everything, like just from seeing it, it seems like a reboot of the series. Is it, or is it like, I know the gameplay is completely different from what they've done recently. Like no quick time events, or at least from what I can tell, no quick time events, no Michael Bay explode everything like around you, shit like that. Like it seems like a reboot of the series, but or like maybe like a callback to the previous games of the series. Like,
well, it's not really a reboot, but it is all new characters and an all new setting. So I mean, it takes place in the same universe.
okay,
And
that's all.
Yeah, without spoiling like the ending or anything, if you have it. I mean, did you see the ending? Have you seen it to the?
No, I haven't seen the
Okay,
ending.
yeah. So I won't. I won't.
Personal bit.
Yeah, we'll stay spoiler free. So this is my thing. So I'm somebody that played through the entire thing, so I know more than most, depending on if you haven't seen the end. And also, okay, so what do I want to say so I won't spoil? The first 5 to 6 hours of this game are some of the best of anything I've played in a really long time. For all the reasons that Katie said, atmosphere, exploration, inventory management, pacing, engines are really solid. The controls are really good. Feel really solid. Basically everything at the house, I'll say without spoiling too much, everything at the house, I'd say it usually takes 5 to 6 hours to go through, is really good. I think it starts out really strong. For me, and again, you may have a different opinion of this, I think it starts to fall off towards the end of the game. And that would be my issue. Overall, I really did enjoy the experience, though, and I think it probably gets, without spoiling the ending or anything like that, I think for me I was probably like a 7.5 overall, with my rating saying the first half being incredibly stellar, and the other half of the game feeling like, not that it was rushed, but it's you'll see when you get to the different sections, but it doesn't really hold a candle to how the game starts out for me.
Fair enough.
But it's really, overall, I really like the direction that they're going with it, and I want to see more. Like, I like the first person thing. I think it makes it even more intense than previous Resident Evils. And I really like the engine, so I really hope they continue to. And I'm assuming they will. They made a proprietary engine for this game, so I'm assuming we can expect more in this. And maybe like, can you imagine like a first-person Resident Evil, like the remakes they could do if they want to do something like this?
Oh my god!
It would be. I mean, there's a lot of potential
Resident
for
Evil
it. Yeah, Resident Evil 2, first person.
I would shit
Like,
myself.
It'd be
I would
really
actually
cool.
shit myself.
Like for a long time,
the
I'm
liquor
thinking
on the
like,
ceiling. Oh,
yeah, like because I find myself like going like, oh, for this Resident Evil 2 remake, do I want it, like Resident Evil 4 style, or do I want it like Resident Evil, 1, 2, or like 1, 2, 3 originally? But
Right.
I wanted this new first-person style. 100%.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool. And other criticism would be they're talking about chat a little bit. I think it's a little bit. I mean, there's not a ton of, not that replay value is really. I'm trying to think with Resident Evil isn't necessarily a thing. Like once you play through it, unless you want to play on a harder difficulty or whatever. It's a little bit shortish. It was 10 hours for the first playthrough for me on normal, and then you unlock the next difficulty setting. So, and also like you get unlimited ammo. There's certain things like depending on the challenges or achievements that you get that you can unlock. So there's maybe some replayability there, and I think they're doing DLC. I know with the game too, which is a whole nother thing. But I think overall I was really impressed with it, and I think the voice acting, especially with some of the main characters, are really solid. Especially like Daddy and Mommy in that game, dude.
That's one thing that stuck out to me
terrifying.
whenever I was just watching it. Was
it's really good.
you could the voice acting, especially of the family.
Yes, the family. Yeah, all the characters in the family are really, really well done.
They
Really well
they were
voiced acted.
really
Oh, yeah.
kind of creeping me out, and I wasn't even playing the game. So I felt those were really well
And
done.
and I love how the player character is not a silent protagonist. Like
Yes,
he
it
says
is,
some little
yeah.
audio clips here and there that just make me feel like, oh, this guy is awesome. You know?
Yeah, and he sometimes says
And,
stuff that you're thinking.
I love the.
too. So
But
no, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying he says stuff that you're thinking straight up. Like there was multiple times where I'm playing through something and it's like so fucked up, and I ended up. He just says exactly what you're thinking, where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Me and the character on the same page. So
And another thing too, I really love the trophies in the game. Like I'm playing it on the PS4,
yeah,
and like I guess it's for achievements also.
yeah,
But they're like they have like an attitude to them, like like it's something dumb like you get a lockpick and you get Master of Unlocking. That's a classic Resident Evil thing.
right.
But there's this one puzzle where you have a certain item and you have to position it a certain way to cast a shadow
Right.
to make an animal. Time I got to that, I just willy-nilly I picked the antique coin in my inventory, and I was supposed to make the shape of a bird, and so I'm holding up the coin, rotating it around, and I'm obviously getting nowhere. Like, okay,
Oh wait, they
this
let
is
you.
obviously
I didn't
the
even
right
know
thing.
you could. That's
And then-
hilarious. I didn't know you could actually pick other things
Yeah.
in the inventory and do that. Oh, that's really
Yeah,
funny.
you can pick up anything, and so I do that, and I get the
Oh.
trophy that says like "nice try" or something.
Oh, that's
and
hilarious.
I'm like, yep.
I didn't know you could do
Oh,
that.
it's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's neat. So yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Once you finish the game, I'm excited to hear your both of you and whoever everybody's thoughts on what you think of the ending and stuff like that. But I don't want to be too. I mean, I know that most people have watched playthroughs and stuff by now, so they probably know. But there's probably people listening and stuff. So we'll try to stay spoiler free. Obviously for you guys too, because you haven't beat it yet. So, but
Okay.
yeah, all accounts, I think the direction and stuff is pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, and then let's move on to something that anybody listening to this podcast or watches this podcast or has ever interacted with anybody with KBMOD knows a lot about, and that is sex, right? Everybody here very well versed in sex. So,
Mother-
Oh, absolutely.
yes,
I'm drowning in it.
drowning in sex. Yes,
Drown.
yes.
Tim, can you do me a favor?
Wow.
And I want to make this my ringtone. I want you to
I-
just say,
I can't.
"I'm drowning in pussy."
I'll be
No,
close.
I won't be able to finish
quick.
that sentence.
All right, it was worth a try.
All right. Well, okay.
Right, when I can work it up, I'll send it to you privately.
Okay, I
Fair
appreciate it.
So this is in regards to a study that finds video games are better at relieving stress than sex, or so this is what the study claims. And to give you a little bit of background on this study, this was a University of College London study, and it surveyed 251 men, and a third of men use video games as a stress reliever, making it the most popular way to decompress. A total of 29% of men said playing video games helped them cope with stress. 74% said talking with friends, and 31% said comfort eating of the 251. Only 27% of men picked having sex or watching porn, perhaps surprising, given that it is seen as a way to let off steam. So, does this shock? First of all, I want to ask you guys: do these numbers? I mean, again, not a huge sample. About 251 isn't. That's a decent
That's
sample
pretty
size
good.
for a college.
So they're asking college students, right?
Yeah, so these are college students at the University of London.
It's very surprising to me.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to college, you're going for
Right.
one thing.
Right.
For the group.
That's to have sex.
Right.
Mhm.
You're not going for an education. You're going to have sex.
So my question was, did they find 251 virgins, or not 251,
Like they
maybe
went-
like
Like
200.
they went to the engineering department. It's like, hey,
It just seems. I think we'll all agree that video games help to people decompress, and I think all of us will say that we play to de-stress.
yeah.
But to say that, I don't know, to negate sex in that seems a little bit crazy to me. But I don't know. Do these numbers shock you guys? I guess I'll ask again. Or does it seem on par?
I guess actually not, because nowadays, like how do I put it? Like the generation nowadays, and it started with ours, I guess, that we don't go out and just talk to each other anymore. Everyone's always at home
Yeah.
talking online.
Uh-huh.
So I guess in a sense, it doesn't really surprise me at all that these are the numbers, because no one goes out and socializes anymore. Everyone does everything at home and online.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I didn't really think about it.
Or like they do everything through Twitter or
Yeah.
Facebook or Instagram. Like, when you put it that way, I guess this study does not really.
I guess the other thing that's confusing though
surprising.
is so not just sex, but watching porn, which then would end with little R-rated, but obviously masturbation. So they're kind of it's not just a matter of like people in the chat are like, well, what if you don't have a partner? It's harder to find a sexual partner or whatever else. But I think that they're leaving it open enough that like, can be your hand.
Masturbation's in
Do
that.
you know what I mean? So who knows how many times people in our chat jack off on a daily basis. My guess is probably 6 to 7 would be the average. So I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I guess I don't really believe this study, or I think that maybe there was something, like maybe they didn't understand. Maybe it was presented in an odd way, but maybe not. Maybe what you're saying is true too, Tim. Maybe it's just like people don't really go out and interact or whatever else, and they get, everyone's home playing video games. But again, everyone's also home watching porn, so I don't
True.
I don't know.
That's true.
Women also took part of the study, 240 women, and they chose activities like reading a self-help book, talking to friends, or doing arts and crafts. Only 11% of women listed having sex or watching porn as a way to cope with stress. So even less than the men, but so 27% and 11% with women. But so they were also, that sex was the minority one there. And the study concluded, I'll read you the conclusion, and then Brad, go ahead with your point. But we're found to have, the gamers were found to have an overall lower need for recovery, lower negative work, home interference, and had a more effective recovery experience, particularly in relation to the subscale of relaxation and psychological detachment than non-gamers. So basically, overall, for your mental health and stuff and relieving stress, they're just, they're saying video games is a really good way to do that, which I don't think any of us, I don't think that part is surprising at all. I'm not surprised by that. But Brad, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just thinking about our day to day. I think so many people like Tim said, so many people are kind of like staying in home now, but also like just even if people were like homebodies, like our social interaction with people like just have gone down so much too. Like, like, I mean, we're involved with social media and stuff, of course, but like we don't represent a large group of people out there. Like people that are like, I don't know, they spend like people used to actually make phone calls, right?
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, but now people are like, I hear from somebody like once a year or something on Facebook. That's the extent of my social interaction. So I think like people are going to other places for this, and I'm not sure if I'm not too surprised, honestly. Just the way with how our lives are going with digital media and social interactions.
Yeah, no, I see what you guys are saying too. It's funny when you talk about the phone call stuff, like, we have caller. Everyone has cell phones, so you have caller ID, right? If it's an unidentified number or whatever, blocked number, like I rarely will ever answer those. So, and then also, even if it's a number that I know, I guess I'll answer. But it's funny, like my girlfriend, who's younger than me, like even if it's a number that she'll know, she'll just wait for it to go, unless it's like her parents or something like that, or somebody she's expecting.
No, I do that with my
she just won't
parents.
answer. I'm just like answer your.
thing.
She's like, oh, I wonder who that is, or it's a number that's not blocked. I'm just like, just pick it up. And she's like, why? I'm like, but like, and she's like, no, I'll just wait till it goes to voicemail, and then I'll see, and then I'll call him back if I want to. But even that act of like picking up the phone and talking to anybody,
I am totally guilty of that.
Yeah.
actually.
Okay. So you do the same thing where I'm just like, I'll answer the phone. Like I don't have that. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm a little more old school in that sense, but I'm like I don't care. I'll just talk to somebody.
Is she doing that to like someone she has saved in a contact, or just
no? It would be a random number. It'll be a random number.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
point, you don't know if you're answering a scam phone number or something.
Yeah, but like what's the worst? Like it could be like, I don't know. I'm always like, well, what if it could be somebody that's trying to reach back out to you that you didn't know for a long time? And I guess she's like, well, then they'll leave a message. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But it's more like the idea behind it though, that we don't like before there was call waiting and before there was caller ID, and we were like, you just, if the phone rang, you had to answer it. There was no answering machines. You just had to answer the phone.
Insane.
And so now we have all these other, but it's going back to what you're saying. We have all these other barriers. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't even have to go that far. So
reminds me of this story. I used to be a photographer for like a lot of LAN parties and stuff, and I was doing one for this this LAN party we had thrown at Oregon State. It was like
Yeah.
a Civil War LAN. So basically, we invited our rival school to come up and compete against us at a LAN party, and we had a bunch of sponsors and stuff there. And NOS, the energy drink company, sent a semi truck full of energy drinks.
Wow.
And then, yeah, it was pretty nuts. And then,
That's crazy.
2 vans of booth girls and then like gaming setups where you could game against like these booth girls, and they were playing like Street Fighter or something. And it was pretty unreal because we were like, hey, we're gonna throw this LAN party with 2 universities, and like
Yeah.
Coca-Cola was like, hell yeah, we're dumping money into this. Like seriously, like thousands of cans of NOS, like
Wow.
taller than me in pallets. Like it was nuts. But anyways, I was taking pictures of the event and stuff, and then people started like taking pictures with the NOS girls. And then this one guy comes up to me, he's like, hey man, I want a picture. I was like, okay. And then he like came up closer to me. He's like, what do I do? Like I was like, what do you mean? What do you do? I was like, I don't know how to interact with them. It was like
you'd never
just
taken a picture with another person?
No, I think it was just because they were like attractive girls.
Oh,
and he was
okay.
just
Oh,
trying to
gotcha.
greet-
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So he was like,
LAN party
oh
attendant.
my god.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wow.
I got his picture, and it was but it was
Yeah. No,
But it-
I mean
but-
that we joke, but yeah, that's becoming more and more. I mean, every time we talk about this, man, like there's coming a day when the sex AI robot shit is. I mean, we're not that far away from having something that's going to satisfy, you know, men and women's sexual needs and be enough. I mean, people already have, you know, anime waifus.
There's that robot, yeah,
Yeah.
or that AI thing in Japan or whatever.
Exactly.
It's an anime girl.
And that's coming, man. And that, like that, I mean, figuratively and literally, you know, it's coming. And there's going to be, I don't know, I think in the next, like, I don't even think, like, I was going to say 50 years, but I think in the next, like, 15 to
15,
20,
Yeah, I'd say
we're
15
going to
coming.
see, like,
Yeah.
the whole merging of, you know, like, sexuality and AI. And people are going to be even more, like, and that's actually terrifying if you think about humanity and stuff and the way that people already interact we're so limited with our interactions already. Imagine now getting, you know, a robot that, of course, it's just going to, you know, a robot's going to do whatever you want it to do. It's going to say whatever you want it to do and go along with it. And now, like, how are we going to actually interact as a species with each other anymore? Because I think we've lost a lot of those skills already. Anyway, it's again not exactly the topic we were talking about, but it actually it scares me for the future because kids that are growing up nowadays, like imagine, like I was talking about this, like my girlfriend's niece and stuff, like she's 3 years old and she's using a cell phone more efficiently than I do. Like she's going into my settings on my iPhone and showing me stuff. I'm like, what? You're 3. She's like, oh, you got to turn this off. I'm like, what are you doing? And
Yeah,
and that
that's
stuff,
one
and
thing
it's
my
just gonna
brother and
ramp up.
sister-in-law have kind of seen. They don't allow my niece and nephew anywhere. Like they don't have cable.
Yeah.
They don't have iPads or anything for them. They don't allow them near their phones at all because they're afraid of like them not being able to socialize once they're in school and
Yeah,
just
sure.
like
I think
later
that's
on
a
in life.
legitimate concern, though.
No, it
I mean,
really
that's-
is. I don't think it's overreacting. I think it's totally a concern. So anyway, it's like, yes, we all love and live with technology and stuff, and it really does make our lives more convenient. But it'll be interesting to see with the social dynamics and stuff as they continue to change. And like you're saying already, Brad, like how they already have changed, and cell phones and all kinds of stuff. Because you know, we can be big boys behind our computers, can't we? But once we're actually out in the wild, things really turn around. So, all right. So anyway, just an interesting study about from the University of London. So we will move on now real quick. I want to talk about Discord, as Discord has a new subscription program called Nitro, which they revealed this week. And
Yeah, Scott and I have been there since like,
Yes.
the beginning. Like since
we are
it was,
OGs.
like,
Since
like under 10 employees, they
the
had a
card
desk at the
table
landing
at
section
PAX
of PAX Prime at
behind
the
the
time.
elevator.
This
Um,
was just not this past PAX, but the prime before.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so we had heard previously. Oh, did I drop?
Nope, it was Katie's then.
No, Katie's
Oh,
gone.
okay.
You're here.
Yeah, we had talked to them and they said that they were going to do cosmetics. That's how they were going to make their money.
Mm-hmm.
But then they introduced Nitro like this last week, right? And
Right.
so, do you want to describe what Nitro does?
Yeah. So Nitro basically is it's a $4.99 a month, and you get animated avatars. You get custom. You can use your custom emojis everywhere. So you can basically get a global passport on any server to use your custom emojis. You get boosted upload limit, is what they're describing this as. So your upload size is increased to 50 megs instead of from 8. And you also get like a Discord reputation badge showing how long you've been with Discord. So I think it's just an interesting discussion because so far, obviously, everything in Discord has been free, and you know, I think we've talked in, I don't know so much publicly, but in the kind of in the background, like what is, I know Discord basically they started blowing up with their user base and they got millions and millions in investment money because, you know, of the tech and everything. But we were like,
Well,
how are they gonna monetize this, right? We've been saying that for a long time.
Right.
And so I just don't know, looking at this right now, like this is cool stuff, but how many people, like, is this, I don't know, for you,
I don't
Brad,
see
when you
a
look at
point.
this, like, is this enough to make you pay $5 a month for Discord at this point? Like, beyond
Well,
just wanting
it's
to
not
support
only
them?
that, but I don't think this is going to be their first stop at like monetization. Like there has to be something else. Like because I think their investors, like the only reason why they're able to throw these, ridiculous parties,
Oh, sure, yeah,
these,
they're
Twitch
legendary
ban,
packs.
anything like that, was because they have like $25 million in investments. So like
Exactly.
they're not going to make that back. I think with $5 subscription services for
No.
animated avatars or custom emojis. So I'm really curious, like
What more they
do
want to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what more do they want to do? If they really think, is this all we're gonna see? I can't imagine this is all we're gonna see, but at
No.
the same time, like this is just a really interesting development, and I don't know.
It's
I
different
don't know
from
much
what
about it.
was. It's different from what we were told they were gonna do.
Mhm.
Like, we didn't like. I wasn't in that meeting with you guys, but I think Hex was. And from what you guys were talking about and stuff like that, it was like, everything's free, but like, say like we had the KBMOD server, like you could customize like the background of it or the colors of like there was cosmetics
Yeah.
for each
Yeah.
server you could do that you could pay for, and that's how they were gonna make their money. But we really haven't seen anything like that on a user like side of things. Like this is all, or not user but server side of things. Like this is user based. Like
Yeah.
anyone could get this for themselves. Like
Right.
it's not really, it's
Yeah,
not
a
what
lot of
they
that stuff that
promised.
you're talking about, if you have a partnered Discord server, you can do some of that stuff already. So they didn't
Okay.
even really charge, like payment wise for that stuff. And it's like this is a situation, like it feels like with Discord that a lot of the stuff they have is really cool, but they release a lot of features that I feel like they could have pay gated. Do you know what I mean? That are more valuable than just these items, like getting a 50 megabyte upload limit
Right.
or
Like
whatever
the
else.
custom emojis.
Exactly,
Like,
that already
could have pay gated
exists.
that.
Yeah, they already exist. So like saying that, like, okay, you can use them beyond just your own server, like, okay, that's cool, but I don't know. And I agree, Brad. It'll be really interesting to see like what else they come out with. I feel like this can't be the end all be all. Like I'm sure that
Well,
they're
it's
they're
just
gonna want to
I
do
just
more,
don't know
but-
what voice service ever in our history has
Yep.
ever been worth $25 million or even garnered that much money. Like
Yeah.
I don't think Skype or anything.
Well,
like that.
Skype with
Maybe,
advertisements because of their user base probably is worth quite a bit of money. But
yeah, is that? But like that's the only case scenario maybe where
yeah.
like for a fact TeamSpeak definitely was nowhere near those
No,
kind of numbers.
no, not at all.
And Mumble was open source, for instance. So it's like
Yeah,
I don't know. I just
Exactly.
think
yeah.
they have to do something here, but I just don't know who they're targeting with this and who would honestly pay for it. Like who needs to upload 50 megabytes of whatever
Yeah, I
to
mean,
a Discord
I'm gonna
server.
ask you, like, what are you doing at that point? What are you uploading?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit questionable.
That's
Like I understand wanting to pay for it to support Discord
sure.
for what they're doing,
Yeah.
but like
Right.
it's not worth it for what they're actually offering.
Right.
Like it's just not.
Well, the funny thing is too, it's like Discord has defended like the file size limit. Like people were of course pissed because like, oh, so you're telling me that paywalling 50 megabytes? It's like Discord's Discord's response is, dude, we're not Google Drive,
Right.
but like,
Right.
why
Yeah.
even offer it at this point? Then, like, I just don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's ends up happening. Like, I have to like Discord has really done a lot of really good. Like Discord was, an app and a service that came along that was really needed because we had the TeamSpeaks, you had all the other ones, Ventrilo for really old ones, but there wasn't really anything that kind of brought the whole IRC plus cloud-based, and using their servers and stuff to be able to chat and the security of all that stuff. When you're not dealing with, what was the thing with TeamSpeak and all these other ones, right? Someone getting your IP, right? That was an issue. So it's like all this stuff is really good. It's just I think they're going to run into the issue of like ultimately beyond the fact that we can tout. They have so many, they have millions and millions of users now, which is really cool with Discord. But it's like how do we really monetize this and how do we make our money back after all this investment? And who knows? Maybe they'll end up partnering with some other companies or something like that, or again, like, are ads going to end up getting serviced into the app at some point? Like, for me, I feel like, how are they going to avoid doing that? Like, the subscription base,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, they could go the Skype route. Like, I think eventually what we might see is, okay, they're going to add, like, you won't get any ads if you pay $4.99 a month. And I think that I could see, like, and not that they're super intrusive or whatever else, but, like, there'll be a sidebar or it'll use cookies or something like that to see or in your messages, what can target advertising. Like, I think that's, to me, where a lot of the big money would come for them to make some of their investment back, and I just don't know how they're going to avoid doing that. But I also haven't heard that they would never do ads. I haven't heard
I
that.
kind of fear that whenever they do get video stuff figured out, that
Yeah.
they're going to put such a high price on it that,
Yeah.
like, to try and make the money, that it's going to...
Well, it
That-
might be
that's what
just
I
a
see.
Nitro subscription. That might be just to add it.
It's true.
Nitro,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
At that point, like, I don't know, $5 for that seems a little
Yeah.
lowballing themselves at that point, though. You know what I mean?
Right. Depending on how intrusive the ad stuff is, yeah, that would
Yeah.
be. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
I think
we'll see.
I think it's a blatant. Obviously, they know their community. To like, Twitch is definitely like an influence here because
Yeah.
like who else? Why the $4.99? Like that is monthly
Sure.
subscription.
Sure.
Like, even I don't think what was it? TeamSpeak wasn't that much. Like if you look at it at a year standpoint, I don't
Oh, yeah.
remember if it was TeamSpeak or Ventrilo that charged, but
Yeah.
like clearly they're targeting that same audience because people are already dumping $5 a month on like Twitch subscriptions, so they might be like, well,
Yeah.
if they're doing that here, those same people are probably using Discord, and those same people are probably using Discord a lot. So
And there's also competition. Like, we're like, full disclosure, we're using Curse right now, and we're just using it because it has video calling and it's better than Skype overall.
right,
But so now you have Curse 2, and Curse was bought by Twitch. So now you have something Curse, like Twitch owns the Curse technology. So and there's a lot of extreme similarities to Discord that Curse has. UI, everything. It has the messaging. It has a lot of similar things. It's not exactly the same. But so now you're dealing with competition. You're dealing with the Twitch base. Like, what is Twitch?
Mhm.
Any kind of integration and stuff. Like, Twitch is going to have all that stuff hit Curse before it hits Discord. I'm not saying they're going to totally block out Discord in the future, but there's true potential for Twitch to go like, all right, we paid the money for a Curse, because I know for a fact that I'm sure there was a talk with like Twitch thinking about acquiring Discord or whatever at some point. I would
Oh,
imagine.
there had to have been,
Yeah,
and they
there-
were just like, oh, you know what, this is a little too much.
and Curse is cheaper or whatever. Like, I'm assuming
Yeah.
like there had to be some kind of talk like that. So it's just going to be interesting. And like in the future, is it possible, because Discord is really, as far as user base, like really blew up with Twitch, is there going to be a situation eventually where Twitch is just like, well, no, we already paid for a technology, we're going to focus on allowing support for
that's
that.
pretty interesting because I've brought this up too. Like,
Yeah.
at what point is Twitch going to be? Well, we own this product, we actually bought it, and we need to start making money off of it.
Exactly.
Like, when do we start cutting off the support for Discord? Because they are opening up the API for people
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
to use the Twitch subscriptions to sync with their Discord. Now, Discord's not Twitch exclusive as well. So, I mean, you got YouTube and other things on there. So, to me,
Yeah.
I would, especially as an investor, I'd be worried like, okay, well, Twitch now has this thing, and you're banking hard on this, like on the Twitch community, like to
Sure.
run Discord success. I mean, like, the presence they had even at TwitchCon just shows how much they really care about this. Like, but who's gonna stop Twitch at some point just to be like, you know what, we're gonna go full blown curse and we're not gonna allow Discord integration anymore to run
Right.
our own product.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I know.
possibility of happening at some point. I don't know if it will, but it's technically in their right. I mean, they can do whatever they want. So,
Right.
so yeah, so we'll see. It's just interesting. So definitely wanted to bring it up, and you know, there has been, like you said, there's been some pushback and stuff about it, but we'll see as they continue to develop the Discord Nitro, and you know, how will, you know, in the future Discord continue to monetize. Let's jump into some quick hits here. Ni no Kuni 2 is coming to PC? Question mark.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
It's coming to PC for sure. It's been stated.
Okay.
Um,
Talk about it, Tim.
Ni no Kuni 1 is a fantastic game. I just played through that recently. It was one of the like must plays I had. Like I wanted to play when I first got my PS3, but I never got around to it. But I finally played through it recently, and it's one of the best RPGs I've actually played like ever.
Okay.
And I've played a lot of
yeah.
them. So I mean, but it was developed in coordination with Studio Ghibli, which gets a lot of people like their ears perked up because of those the films that studio made. So it was made with them co-directing. Ni no Kuni 1 was. So like that was like you could see the charm in there and all that stuff. But it was just a really good game. And I knew Ni no Kuni 2 was coming out this year, but I mean at that point I just knew it was going to come out on PS4. But they're saying that they've confirmed this coming to PC as well, that they want to, that they know there's a huge crowd on PC that wants to play like JRPGs and all that stuff. They recognize that, and they want to bring the game and more JRPGs to everyone, you know, on the PC. It's the same studio that made games like Dark Cloud and Rogue Galaxy and stuff like that, Level 5 Studios. So they've made some notable games in the past. So I'm just excited for it to come to PC. It does look like they changed up the gameplay a little bit from some of the stuff I saw. It looks to have like more of a Pikmin style combat. I don't know. Like in Ni no Kuni 1, you had these little like creatures called familiars, and it had like a Pokemon style like combat with that, but it was more real time. But with Ni no Kuni 2, it looks like they're kind of giving away from the familiars a little bit, and they give you like these just small little creatures that just swarm your targets, which kind of looks badass. But just the fact that more publishers that make JRPGs are realizing that the PC has a huge, you know, crowd that wants to play their games is a good thing in my opinion, because we'll just get more quality games to the PC. Now, if it's going to be a good port, that's another story, but it's I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it all turns out and stuff like that. I like whenever I was playing through it, a lot of people were like, "Man, I really want to play this, but I don't own a PS3." Like it's on PS Now, which you can play on your PC. Like that's a $10 subscription, I think, to PS Now. But I mean, it was a 60-hour game as well. So if it took you a month to play it, that's $10 for 60 hours. Like that's a good quality in my opinion, as far as hours per gameplay volume. But I wanted to talk about that because I'm excited for the new game and just more games coming to PC. Like especially from Japan, like. It's been slowly happening more and more with terrible ports, but they seem to be getting better and better as they try and just keep PC in mind. Like Tales of Berseria came out this past week, and apparently like that's another JRPG, but apparently that's getting like huge, like great reviews because it's actually ported very well, and you know, modders don't have to like get their hands on it right away and fix, you know, problems within 15 minutes that the devs decided not to, you know, take care of themselves. So.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. They said that having a PC version means the game is more accessible for everyone overseas. As a fan of Western RPGs, I think our games need to be offering a similarly great experience, utilizing things like an open world, stress-free battle systems should feel familiar for all gamers. But yeah, having a PC version means the game is more accessible for everyone overseas. And I think publishers are. I think we're coming to the point where everyone's realizing that, right? Like we're having less and less console exclusives anymore. We're seeing multi-platform, at least like console to PC titles.
Gears 4 is going to that this week, I think, where you can play Xbox One players from your PC onto like to Gears 4.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see that. I know, honestly, it being on PS3 kept me from trying Ni no Kuni 1, so I'm interested to check this out. I'm not usually into these, but the Pokemon combat system that was in 1 had me interested. So
It works out really well. It's actually like it's not just like, find your, however many favorite familiars you can hold. Like I think it's 3 and just like go out there. Like it's actually a surprisingly in-depth combat system, but like
Yeah,
everything's given to you in the game as well. So like it's all there for you to learn. But I mean, I think I was playing on an easier difficulty this time around, so I did get through the game a lot easier. So you could just kind of go with whatever you want, but it's definitely like has its in-depth combat system if you want to get into it. But like I said, like it's on PS
Yes.
now. Fun.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I stopped by your stream for a bit one time, and it looked really interesting. Like, I only tried it out for maybe like the first hour, like when it first came out, and I remember being like really turned off because it was kind of like slow. Like, does it have kind of a slow beginning? Like,
It starts
like,
off slow, but like once you get past like, how do I put it? Like you start off in this kid's town, but then like you get transported to this other world. But like so once you hit that next like into the other world where most of the game takes place, the game really takes off. So it's just getting through the first probably hour and a half. So you get about another half hour before you got into the good parts of the game. But yeah, it like with any RPG, really, like you have to really put in about 4 to 6 hours to really, and which is a full game for most games, but you have to put about 4 to 6 hours to really see if the game's going to be for you or not. At least in my opinion.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to give it another try.
Next up on the quick hits, we were teased on Skate 4. The senior manager and community engagement like officer person at EA just tweeted out hashtag Skate 4. And I didn't really play the other skates, but I always, because it was usually on console. But I mean, there were, if I recall, some of the skates were on PC, right? Do you guys remember?
I don't remember actually.
I don't remember.
Maybe not.
I played Skate 3 on 360 with a bunch of friends because they all had it, and they're like, you should pick it up. And I was like, all right, it's $5 at this time, so I picked it up. And it was just one of those games where you could like
just lose time.
And this sounds super nerdy, but you could just, meet up with friends in game and just skate around. Whereas, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that in real life. Maybe you just can't skate, or you aren't like with each other, because I was playing with people across the country. But that's what we did. We just met up in the game and we just kind of skated around. We made up our own stupid games and we just kind of went off from there.
It wasn't on PC, so that's why I haven't played them. But I've always wanted to. So like that's.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I know people have been crying about like where the hell is a new skate game forever, because the franchise is so beloved.
Yeah, so. Hex is one of them.
Yeah,
he's been crying for one for the past, ever since I've known him, really.
Yeah,
but I love the old school Tony Hawk's. I love the, the open world ATV games where you just did like hit jumps and try to do tricks and stuff. Yeah. So I've always wanted to get into the skate franchise, but never really did.
Yeah, the best way I can describe it is like Tony Hawk is very arcadey, where this is not exactly a sim skating game, but it like think of it like Tony Hawk is Call of Duty, and then Skate is like Battlefield. Is the best way I can kind of compare them.
Yeah, and I saw that too, because as far as like, but you still had the open world stuff that like Tony Hawk like at least had, and that's what I wanted. All right, so
definitely.
But yeah, so
what I just love about this is such a game reveal in 2017. It's just a tweet with the name Skate 4. You've got no grand trailer. You've got no big hype. It's just Skate 4.
That's it, dude. All it takes is a hashtag,
Modern gaming.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Generate some hype. That's it.
Speaking of fours. Oh, sorry. Did you have anything else on Skate 4? Because I was about to do a sick segue, Brad. Just a sick.
No, hit me with it. I need.
What is more filthy than Skate 4?
What's that?
How about Dirt 4? Let's go. All right. That was a terrible pun, but yeah. So, Dirt 4 is a thing. and there was a trailer actually, a release trailer. I guess it's just kind of a teaser. Yeah, I mean it's about less than a minute on Dirt Games Twitter, and this is a little bit. So you said so obviously with Skate4 just a hashtag. This one you get a little bit of a video. You get them saying, yeah.
The interesting thing was I believe it was announced first on Twitter, like if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I mean, we're seeing a trend here where everybody's just like, we're gonna hit the masses on Twitter.
You're gonna blindside them.
Yeah, I mean I think it's the way to. Nowadays,
Yeah, there's no.
If
I recall, there's no pre-hype. It was just single tweet. Here it is. You know,
I'm excited for it. I mean, a bunch of us have been playing racing games recently, and then Dirt 3, back when that was like not dead, a bunch of us were playing that back then too, and we would just play mini games, and it was fun just to kind of, you know, those games like that where they have mini games and like involved with it, and they're just a lot of fun just to get people together for like an hour and just kind of crash into each other, whether it be like a capture the flag type game mode or like hit these points up, like King of the Hill type game mode or whatever. Like they're fun. Their games are. The Dirt 3 was the first one I ever played, but like it's fun. I don't know. I know Mark's excited for it, Black on Punch, because he has his wheel and he's more into like the sim racers at times. So he's excited to get his like hands on that, to use his wheel more and kind of take on the tracks that way, which, you know, it's fun and all, but I'm more interested in see kind of what the, you know, party games are like for it.
Yeah. So there you go, man. Some reveals, some hot, crispy reveals coming out this week. Now, here's a pretty crispy reveal. A Bethesda modder has added moving vehicles to the roads of Fallout New Vegas. Something that previously, I believe, didn't Bethesda say was not possible in their engine?
Yeah. So reading into this, it just kind of triggered me a little bit, but
Yes.
like it's in the early stages, of course, but basically what it is it's technically he made the cars into creatures. Like
Right.
the game sees them as creatures, and they're just like scripted paths they run.
Yeah.
But you know what? He got the damn things moving, and it was.
He did it.
You know what? Like
He fucking did it.
How come we haven't seen this? Oh, I don't know, since the beginning of all Fallouts. It's beyond me.
Right.
And it's not like the community hasn't wanted these, because it's like you're telling me I can have these high-powered level machinery like guns, helicopters flying around and stuff, but I can't control any of that.
Nope.
Or I can't take one of these trucks on the side of the road and make something drivable. No. Instead, some dude has to make a truck into a creature, and the script routes for it to like be implemented in the game. And it's like, if the one guy can do it, we know that Bethesda can do it. But
Sure.
yeah, it's just
Little triggers there, but I feel you. I feel you.
But it's pretty interesting too. Like, I just thought in my head, like, the vehicles are technically creatures. It's like, dude, can I fight Thomas the Tank? That'd be fucking awesome.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
You definitely could.
But
Just take him down. Light
I
him
want the
up.
tank death clock coming at you. Be legit.
I want to nuke Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh shit.
yeah, well, so somebody in
Thank
chat
God,
said,
for the
well,
thank God for the modding community for Bethesda games, because that's the only thing.
Yeah,
keeping
Bethesda
those-
should be thanking God for that community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
somebody said in their defense it is incredibly buggy, which, yes, but that shouldn't stop anybody from implementing like something that the fans have been wanting for years. Like we get it, you know, if they implemented it, knowing Bethesda when it first come out,
It will
you
be
would be-
buggy anyways.
it will be buggy. I mean,
The
we've
community
had-
will fix it.
Well, we've had horses in Elder Scrolls, so I mean, you're telling me you can't have a car or motorcycle in Fallout? Like, come on.
Like, I could see the reasoning of it's, you know, the nuclear wasteland, there's no gasoline, blah blah blah, but like you have the counterpoint, you have giant ass mechs that walk around, you have laser weapons, like make the cars run on that shit. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's true
know.
too. A lot of angles you could take. I don't know. I mean, I've never been a Bethesda fanboy, and I haven't really played their game, so I'm just all for dumping fucking
Don't.
fuel on the fire of the Bethesda.
I say do it, Scott.
I know I don't have anything.
I think it would actually be hilarious for your stream. Actually,
No, I
Just
tried to
some
get
of
in.
the
I've
stuff
tried to
that
get into the
will
Fallouts. I don't know. I can't do it, man. Certain other RPGs I've been able to play, but I don't know. The Fallout universe has never interested me. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll
I don't
try
know,
it again
man.
at some point. But there you go. So, all right, Katie Zen. Dark Souls 3 DLC 2, The Ring City, has been announced. March 28th.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Finally got a new trailer for the second of two DLCs coming out for Dark Souls 3. This one's called The Ring City, and I mean, it pretty much takes place directly. It was confirmed to be a continuation of the first DLC, so I'm not sure if it's gonna, if you have to play the first one to play the second DLC, or if it's just will make more sense if you do it that way. But it's gonna take place in the how do I say this without spoiling it? The setting of the DLC is the area that it takes place in. Like, you see a certain area off in the distance that you can't access.
really?
But yes.
Oh
yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah. It looks pretty cool.
That's
Yeah. And I was really happy with the trailer because it didn't really spoil. I mean, of course it's going to spoil some stuff. When it comes to something like Dark Souls, any slight glimpse of an area or an enemy can be, and people are already analyzing the shit out of it. But yeah, it looks really promising. It didn't really spoil, too much in the trailer. We got a glimpse of one boss. I don't want that spoiled for you. Don't watch the trailer.
I'm watching it
But,
right now. Holy fuck.
Okay, yeah, awesome. But yeah,
One
that
of
comes
my
out March
steroids.
28th. Yeah, so yeah, it's coming out, sooner than I thought.
Definitely.
Well, actually, no, I was kind of thinking it'd be around April area, but yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait to play the
How do you
shit out
feel
of
about
that.
this being the last DLC for the whole Soul series?
This, being the last DLC, the last piece of Dark Souls content, I want some crazy shit to happen. Like, really? I mean, if I want to go full, you've enabled me, Tim. I'm gonna go out.
Oh
all
God,
out
here we go.
all
Why'd you do
I
this?
want to
knew it
know,
would.
character in the game. There's this character in the game, and her story in a couple different things is that she like appears and does things, and then she leaves. And throughout the whole lore of the game, she's done that twice. And I really want to see something where it's like where she ends up. Like, what's her end? What's her demise? Because everybody dies in Dark Souls. I just want to see like that get tied up. Maybe some stuff with no, actually I was gonna say Gwen, but that's pretty much all been wrapped up. But yeah, I just hope they I definitely hope it's longer than the first DLC for Dark Souls 3, and I certainly hope it has more than 2 bosses. That was nonsense.
They've already, I mean, I think they've already come out and said, I'm not confirming this, this is just what I've kind of like picked up on, that the first DLC for Dark Souls 3 was more geared towards PvP. And that this next one is going to be geared towards the PvE aspect of,
Excellent.
what we're used to with the Dark Souls DLCs.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was thinking about the first DLC, and I would have much rather. It felt like it was really kind of like uneven, and that there were 2 bosses, and the one main boss of the DLC that's not optional has 3 phases, which that's a lot of resources put into one
That's
boss.
a
That's the only
lot,
boss in the
yeah.
series that has 3 phases. So I would have much rather. There's this one NPC fight in the first DLC. I would have much rather they turned that into a proper boss fight. But my hopes are incredibly high for the finale of Dark Souls. So
Yeah, I lost my save whenever I freeformatted my PC at Extra Life. So I started it up
Rip.
last week, but I'm gonna, now that I know the release date for it, I have to start pushing harder at it, because I didn't play the newest DLC because I wanted to play it, and then didn't have my save file, so I just kind of swore off Dark Souls for a while because I was just pissed that they didn't have cloud saving in 2016. Like, why the fuck is that another thing?
Yeah,
I'm still a little triggered, but
I can see that.
I have to get my save free. I have to just play through it again. It's not a big deal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Game's easy, so
3's good. Yeah, it's definitely one of the easiest series.
So, Tim, why don't you tell us what's going on with KBMOD?
Hold on.
So we got
on.
lots of things going on this past week. Let's see. We had a build guide put out there from Fake Ghost Pirate, but it's not a typical build guide. This is more to get you guys into sim racing, which is good for, a bunch of us playing Forza Horizon 3. If you want to join us, he has a build guide for a little entry-level sim racing setup with Dirt 4 on its way, and a bunch of other racing sims out there. If you ever wanted to get into them, but you wanted like a wheel setup, he kind of, lays out a nice, cheap, easier way to get into it. I wouldn't say cheap, but easier way to get into it to kind of start setting up your sim setup. So definitely take a look at that. Andrew did a first look at a game called High Noon Revolver. It's like a 2D side scroller shoot 'em up. It looks interesting. It's set in the Wild West, obviously. So you can get his thoughts on that. And then with all of us playing Forza Horizon 3 lately, Zoomar has been recording it and kind of editing videos together, so you can kind of see the antics that we get into. But we're always on Discord if you guys want to play with us. So if you own the game, whether it be on Xbox One or PC, if you see us in Discord playing, just come on in. Don't be afraid. Come play with us. We would love to have you guys with us on that one. What is that music? Oh.
I'm playing infomercial music during this section. That's going to be the new
Fair
thing.
enough.
Yeah.
And then this week coming up, we have a review from Andrew coming out for a game called Owl's Awakening. And I'm going to have a first look at a game called Merc, which is kind of like a real-time XCOM style combat. But that'll be out later on during the week. But Andrew should be up on Tuesday. I'm going to press him on that. So keep a lookout for those on top of our Twitch streams that we have throughout the week on the channel. Rough Tims tomorrow night. Battlefield night on Saturdays. Ben Basic is gonna get back to doing his dev streams on Thursday nights, so definitely tune into those. It's super cool to watch him work on his game. It's in his voice is just super relaxing, and he has a lot to talk about as far as game dev. So definitely tune into his. And then podcasts obviously every week we have. I think I covered everything.
All right. Beautiful. That was perfect.
Awesome.
And yeah, there you go. So no excuse. Check out the content. Check out the streams. Check out the website. Check out the KBMOD multi-stream. Get the KBMOD t-shirts. Buy the mugs. Buy the bumper stickers. Get your nipples tattooed with KBMOD. There's no excuse. Get involved somehow.
I know a guy that can do the art for you on
There
the
you go.
nipples.
There you go. So now after
Did
Katie's...
you guys hear any music or anything? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Scott. He was playing it.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I'm just.
Oh, okay. You were trolling. All right. Hit us with the new releases, Katie.
Of course.
Let's go.
I will. They're going to be short and sweet this week. Trust me, guys. I try. I search high and low. These new releases on Steam every week, but
Yes.
these indie devs, they're just not bringing it. I did see one in particular. I won't name it, but it'll be pretty easy to find. It's a blatant ripoff of Binding of Isaac, and that practice is disgusting. I decided against publicly shaming this game on our podcast.
Oh, wow.
But
I'm gonna find it and call it out right now.
oh yeah, go for it. But first up, both of these games release on January 30th. The first one is not a new game. It's Disgaea 2 ported to the PC.
Can I just say real quick, Katie,
Which,
then before you go into the description of this, every time I see this game written out in its name, I read Disgaea. Like Disgaea 2. I know it's Disgaea, but it literally, I mean, come on, tell me. I'll put it into the chat. Disgaea.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Anyway, sorry.
I
Okay.
don't see it.
You don't see that? Come on. Go
No,
ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe
Disgaea
I'm too
2.
much of a weeb.
Yeah,
that I kinda look past that.
You are a weeb, though, see, and I'm not, so that might be...
Yeah, you're probably
I'm a weeb and I can see it, so.
Okay, that's good.
all right.
I'm
But
gonna blame
yeah.
the Illinois education system. Anyways, sorry.
But yeah, Disgaea 2. Came out on PS2. If you're unfamiliar with Disgaea, it's like a turn-based RPG that or like a strategy like a strategy RPG. And it really doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's got funny characters, and it's really just silly. And it's this is one of my most loved series. So it's cool to see this on PC. It's got updated textures, upgraded like a UI and stuff, but nothing really. I mean, it still looks like a PS2 game, but yeah, it's still a pretty good game. Not one of the best of the series, but it's cool to see because we got Disgaea 1 come out on PC last year, so they're slowly going through all the games, putting them up on PC. So hopefully by the time Disgaea 6 comes out, they'll be caught up. I'm not sure how long they're going to take or if that's what they're going for, but a man can dream, and you can dream in Disgaea 2
Wow.
on the PC.
This is not making it sound any less, what I said. But interesting.
So this Gay 2 comes out on PC. It's going to be $19.99.
Yes.
In the first week, it's going to be 10% off. So you can save a whopping $2 if you buy it right now.
Oh, nice.
So, the right choice to make. But next up is this is my first time even knowing this game was a thing.
Yeah, what the
Double
hell?
Dragon 4.
What?
I'm super
Double
excited for
Dragon,
this.
This
the
is fucking
fourth
lit.
game in the series.
This is sick.
Double Dragon makes a return on
Yeah.
PC.
Dude, local
It's first
multiplayer.
game
Oh,
in,
local. Okay. I was going to say if it had online multiplayer, I was about to be real excited, but it doesn't look like
Oh,
it.
that would be you and me right there.
Like,
No.
They had somehow
So
they had somehow
local co-op.
net-coded multiplayer. That would have been sick.
Oh, yeah. But this comes out also on January 30th. What I find really cool about this is being made by Arc System Works, which they're known for making the Guilty Gear games, the Blaze Blue game, Warfighter, some really fucking polished fighting games. So
Yeah.
Double
This
Dragon is just-
looks like the OG Double Dragons. So I'm excited because my brother and I used to sink so many hours in Double Dragon 2, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
We would never make it past the 3rd level, but we would sink tons of hours in the game for sure.
Yeah.
No, it looks like they're actually like. Now I can't remember this from the original games, but it looks like they're adding in like fighting game moves into the game, like dive kicks and tatsus and dragon punches and shit like that. Like, man, I want to play this now. How much is it gonna be? There's no price.
No
God
price.
damn it.
It probably
Yeah,
won't
no
be
price tag on
that
Steam.
much. Well, who knows? $10, 15,
Alright.
you think 20, 30? I don't know. I wonder what they'll charge.
I think it'll be like 15.
60? No way. They won't charge 60.
60.
$60. Oh god. Yeah, it says the story picks up after the elimination of the Black Warriors in Double Dragon 2. So if you've been waiting 20 years or so to find out what
Dang.
happens next, you can finally find out on January 30th.
All right.
But yeah, cool.
Beautiful. So short and sweet. We had Disgaea 2 and Double Dragon. Thank you for that. And we're going to jump into the viewer questions here real quick. And our first comes from Mark, who asks us, are there any multiplayer games you prefer to play without your friends? Which is an interesting question.
I don't play many multiplayer games now, but for me, it was always leveling up in an MMO. I always preferred to do that solo.
Okay.
Because people were just too slow for me. Or like I just hate it's a long process leveling up in an MMO, so I wanted to do it at my own pace, at my own time. I didn't want to like wait around for someone to finish dinner or use the restroom, just stuff like that. It's very petty of me, but I just wanted to be first, and I could only go at my own pace.
That's a good one. I was gonna say any of those browser-based games where you have an avatar that you have sex with somebody anonymous on the internet on. Generally preferred to play those by myself. Never really fun to run into one of your friends, while you guys are role playing with the, I'm gonna stick it in you. It's like, it's my friend Dan's role playing as Dana, the blonde, in Sex Game Villa 3D on the. No, nobody else. Never had that happen. I'm just fucking with you. I would imagine that would be awkward. No, I'm trying to think multiplayer games I wouldn't want to play with friends. I really all my multiplayer games I always want to play with.
I'm actually compiling a video right now of me playing like over 100 hours of golf with your friends with no friends.
Are you? Nice.
Oh God,
yeah.
That's good.
Oh wow.
And just to give them a big FU at the end when I fucking publish that, just be like, take that shit out of your title.
You don't have
It's
to
called
have
golf.
You
I don't have any friends.
Damn.
I want my money back. That's gonna be my Steam refund. It's like, I played this shit, didn't need friends, or it didn't give me friends. How about that?
Oh, that's true. It didn't give
where
you
are my friends? You promised me friends.
supposed to come with the game.
Yeah,
I would
don't
have to say though, a legit answer. If I were to play MMOs again, it would be MMOs for sure.
Mhm.
Like when I did play them, I didn't really like playing with people just because, like you said, having to wait was just more annoying than anything else.
Now, when it came to rating and stuff, obviously you had to do it with other people, and I love that aspect of it. But just the leveling up part was always solo for me. Every time I had to, every time I did quest with someone, it was just like I was always just on edge. Like I just didn't want to be there almost. I don't know. I'm weird.
Sometimes I don't like playing Counter-Strike with friends. I actually wish you could disable people being able to spectate, like on your friends list. Personally, just because like when I have the pressure of like somebody that I know like watching me, like I just fold under pressure.
See that?
Like legitimately.
I can
But-
see that.
Yeah.
Okay. KD, did you have any thoughts on this? I'm.
You dropped.
Oh, again. I've literally. He's dropped 600 times to this. I don't know what's happening. I don't even know if he realizing he's dropping either, because he doesn't. Oh, he's back. Okay, he's back.
What happened? There.
Oh, he's
Well,
lagging again. I don't. Katie. Literally, you've dropped like 600 times. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's your cam or what, but I don't even know if you can hear me
Hello?
right now.
Hello?
Hello.
Guys.
I can hear you now. Yeah. What's happening?
Just disable your cam, Katie's in.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Oh.
Um,
Okay. Well. I don't fucking know what's happening.
Did you have an answer, Scott? That wasn't.
No, I didn't
that was
have an
serious?
answer. Let's fucking. Let's move on.
Okay. The next question comes in from Charles D. Pickens.
Yes, Charles.
He asks, KFC replaced the bun, and now Taco Bell has done chalupas. My question is, what other food delivery methods can chicken replace?
Oh man.
I think they have it covered.
Yeah.
Do they?
Well, I guess we. Oh, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Making a bowl from
Chili
fried
bowl.
chicken
Yes.
and put chili in it. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I'm not sure if it's been done yet or not, but now I want it. So
Yeah.
that's my answer.
That's not a
just
bad
bowl.
answer. That's not a bad answer. I would that could be very good.
Scott, imagine this.
Oh, hit me.
Actually, never mind. Actually, you know what? A bowl would be pretty gross because, like, where do you put the bowl?
No, you
On your
eat the
table.
You eat the oh, yeah, that's true. You'd have to put it on like a napkin or something, but yeah.
That it just like defeats the purpose.
It could be like yeah, it kind of does.
Instead of fine
know.
china, I have fried chicken dishes.
Fried chicken utensils. That's an idea.
So you don't want to
Yeah.
put a bowl on your table, but you want to put just a plate of fried just a fried chicken plate on your table.
No, that'd still be gross.
Yeah, you eat the plate, but it's still
Like I'm thinking of it like kind of like a bread bowl, like you get from like Panera. You still
Yeah,
put that on a
that's
plate.
what I'm thinking too. Yeah, no, I'm thinking that. Like the bread bowl, they put it like on a piece of paper or like on a tray, right? They don't. You don't just
Yeah.
put it. So you could do that with this.
Well,
That's the
so-
same thing.
so- I think what he's saying though is like, so KFC replaced like a normal sandwich.
Like so,
Right.
like a
Replaced
handheld.
Yeah,
the
I know.
buns
Yeah.
were turned into fried chicken, and so now we have the
Exactly.
taco shell turned into fried chicken.
Right.
So now
What else could
So we're-
chicken replace? Is the actual?
We're thinking
vehicle.
like handheld.
Yeah.
Then
So you're
I'm
thinking-
seeing a lot of like pizza crust in chat, and that
Mm,
has to be like the only other go-to.
sub sandwiches.
Man, an entire flattened piece. Like, if you think about like a large pizza size, deep fried chicken. Oh, you know what? You joke, but you know who will be the first to fucking do this? Pizza Hut. I bet they're about
I
to
bet they're already
start their
working on
ad
it.
campaign.
I bet they're already working on
No,
it.
I mean,
Their
no
research
joke.
development team is just fucking cranking this shit out right now.
Dude,
It's
I'm
just-
sure
And they're
that it's
pissed
gonna
about
happen.
it too. You know they're not loving it. I'm just that has to be it. I guess if they could somehow find a way like to wrap it like a tortilla wrap, like
Wow. As like a yes,
Oh.
tortilla.
So 7-Eleven does this already, and I think Scott, you've seen it too. The
Yeah.
like taquito like chicken roll things.
Mhm. Yeah. I haven't indulged.
I haven't either, but
Yes, I
I've
have
seen them.
I don't even think there's a 7-Eleven open near me. I could even investigate this.
Yeah.
How to think? Oh, it's in a bad part of town. I'm not even gonna chance it.
Mm.
Never mind. It's not even gonna
Bad.
go down there.
But no, chicken's a very versatile, vehicle. For
It's all about
things.
how, like, if you can form it or not. I guess.
Well, yeah,
'cause I guess
chicken.
Oh, you can form. I mean, that shit
You
comes.
just-
That shit's
I mean,
like
you,
a paste. now.
yeah, you can
Like,
just grind it up into a paste or whatever, and then form it however you want. So, chicken cake. Oh man, oof. Chicken birthday cake. I was just thinking that. Oh man. And instead of chocolate on the outside, it's covered in barbecue sauce to look like chocolate. And then you could do what else as you build the layers? What else you could put? Oh man, and then ranch or blue cheese. I don't know. It's disgusting.
Oh,
I was like, oh.
that would be so soggy after it sits for a little bit.
Yeah. Is Katie's in here by the way? Katie, hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just didn't know if you're I didn't know if you were in like the void here. Okay, cool. You seem fine with your camera off, like you're not getting kicked. But it was booting you.
Was I
Um,
kicked or did I disconnect?
No, it just keeps
Because my internet was.
it would just keep disconnecting. Like you would just disappear from the call. So I'm not sure why, but you're back.
I thought Brad was kicking me because I was talking about Dark Souls.
Oh no. No.
oh, that's a good idea, but no.
No. You just desync from the call.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the chicken thing as a vehicle?
Listen, take some mac and Cheetos, throw some chicken in there. You've got a delicious snack.
So the mac and Cheetos, but except the actual, so it would have to be the crust around, like, it would actually be chicken with cheese stuffed inside and then deep
Put the
fried.
mac and cheese inside. Like,
Plus the chicken.
Somebody just said chicken noodles for spaghetti.
Wow. Grind the chicken into noodle form. You could do that. You could totally do that.
Could you?
Yeah, you can form. Dude, they have chicken fry. I mean, you could. I don't know. It wouldn't exactly be noodle consistency, but you could totally form like long little strands.
What? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, if you, and then if you boiled it like a noodle.
Ooh, I'm gonna say
Mm.
replace the bread in a hot pocket with the chicken.
Okay, I can see Hot Pocket doing that.
Oh,
I can see Hot Pocket
yes.
doing that.
That'd be
These
pretty
are all
baller.
things I didn't know I needed in my life until now.
At that point, you're just basically eating chicken cordon bleu right there.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Right at that point, if it's stuffed
Well,
with like
not
ham
but-
and cheese.
This chicken cordon bleu deep fried on the outside and breaded.
Sometimes, yeah.
I think sometimes. I think it is actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I've had
I've
it like
seen
that
versions
sometimes.
of that. Yeah. Man.
I mean, the hot pockets are all about what's inside of it, and
Right.
nothing matches that consistency and just I don't know how else to put it. Just consistency of a hot pocket.
So that's my thing. It's hot pockets.
I was gonna say a burger, but I've seen this already. I forget what I was watching, but somebody had done so similar to like the KFC, making the bun actually out of like fried chicken. I've seen a burger that the bun was 2 pieces of fried chicken with a massive
Nice.
burger in between it with like bacon, and it's fucking disgusting. But I'm sure it tasted.
That could be your choice. That
Yeah,
I've done that before. I've been one of those people.
you've done it. You've just done it to.
I've bought in 2 McChickens and a McDouble,
Oh,
and
I
then
see
put the
what-
McChickens on the
on
outside.
the outside.
McGangbang. That's what we
McGangbang.
called it.
Yes.
But I took the buns away. I made the chickens the buns.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
Wonder
pretty
about
much McGangbang without the buns.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. The deep questions from Mark and Charles Deep Dickens. And then, you know what? Charles Deep Dickens, who has been giving us this story over the past few weeks about Patrick from EA, or EA, right? Is that Patrick from EA? Believe it was.
Yeah.
And his poetry, Deep Dickens, Charles has been giving us, has continued the story with Patrick here, and this is I don't know if this is the final conclusion or if we're going to hear more, but I'm excited for more poetry from Charles. So let's get into this here. And again, this is a continuation from last week. Enough, Patrick cried as he fell to his knees. Take whatever you want and leave me be, please. A bribe, the figure screamed. You think I will be exploited? Facing this next spirit cannot be avoided. The figure then left, meaning the third would soon appear. But after looking in vain, a voice exclaimed, Ahem, down here. You have fucked up now as you face a true BDP. The future has a name, and it is VGT. Oh my god. EA has become too fat and cocky like Steven Seagal. A policy of fuck the fans will be your downfall. Wow. You have the power to fill each player with joy, yet instead you treat them like they are your fuck boy. The time is now for you to repent, or I will bring you to my puzzle basement. Back in the office, the figure thought Patrick looked broken. Maybe he could not handle everything that was spoken. I understand your message now, but these things aren't up to me. Don't you realize EA was voted the worst company? I would like to do these things that you ask, but even trying would put me out on my ass. In a rare moment of pity, the figure went to put a hand on his shoulder. Patrick flinched in fear that this meant he would not grow any older. Listen, you only live once, the figure explained. A life of regret cannot be maintained. Life isn't just a series of zeros and ones. Ask earnestly, and you will always find options. I am leaving you now to do what you are willing, but hope you find something more fulfilling. Finally back to normal, Patrick was filled with his revelation, heading straight to his boss to hand in his resignation. Wow.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Absolutely beautiful. And if you've been following this whole saga, this started with, this figure appearing to Patrick while he was, I think, in his office working on coding something, I think, at the very beginning. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back. But my goodness, Charles D. Dickens, this has been an incredible story. So Patrick, finally realizing the error of EA's ways, is willing to, he's done. He can't work for the evil company anymore. He's handing it in. He's done. That was moving. Charles, thank you so much for that. And, if you guys want to send us stuff, we love getting stuff via email. Brad, what can they send? Where do we check for the email stuff? What is that email address?
I believe it is community@kbmod.com.
Yes, it is. So send us those emails. Send us that poetry. It's going to be hard to beat anything, like we said last week, that Charles has written, but feel free to email as well. Obviously, we always ask for questions at the beginning of the podcast on KBMOD Gaming on Twitter, so make sure you follow us on there and check that out. And, of course, we always have the iTunes Podcast Review of the Week, which this week we have one from Hold My Ducky, 2. And if you want to go and leave a iTunes Podcast review for us, you obviously, just get on your iTunes account. I know you have one. Leave us 5 stars, and then tell us what you think of the podcast. If you think Katie Zen's chair is far too loud, you can tell him that. If you would like to do that, that works too. But I'm going to read this one from Hold My Ducky 2, and it's called Part Deuce, because he did leave a review a little bit ago that we read. And this is his second part. He said, in my first review, I thought I had gotten everything off my chest. However, after listening to episode 263, that all has changed. As I can see, your wrong opinions go deeper than just candy corn and mug root beer. It was It was a normal night of pleasing myself to a jar of mayonnaise. Wow. While listening to KBMOD, until I came across another slander of my favorite PC feature. Oh my God, this guy, he just loves to trigger us. The Microsoft Personal Shopping Assistant for Chrome. Ducky, he literally lives to just trigger us. Fucking asshole. Normally, I buy my Wendy's fondue fries
Oh my god.
from the deep web, but it turns out, thanks to the shopping assistant, I can actually find them on Craigslist. Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised that Brandon and the rest of the KB Mod crew don't find this feature useful, considering your brains probably look like a Denny's country fried steak. Wow. Wow.
Damn.
Dude, he goes savage. Your live viewership decline is a direct result of insulting great services like this and the Windows Store. Either that or people started leaving after Blot and Dan ruined everything with extensive Dark Souls talk and then just left the podcast anyways. Wow, dude. Dick move. Love you guys and please never stop making new episodes. Wow. So a lot to unpack there, man. Ducky.
Those
So
are some
apparently
mixed,
we trigger him,
messages right
but he really triggers us too, to be honest.
It's a give take relationship. It's really what
It is. It is. I have to say though, I think a lot of people can relate to the experience of listening to KBMOD while pleasing yourself to a jar of mayonnaise. Like that's pretty common. Yeah, we went in on the fucking the shopping assistant for Chrome in 263 because, we were talking about, basically ads built into Windows continue to happen. So apparently, all right. Well, it's good to know. I mean, I didn't even know Wendy's fondue fries were still being sold, to be honest, at this point.
That's why you have to go through the deep web.
Yeah, you have to go through the deep web.
Now you can go through Craigslist.
And yeah, the shopping assistant enabled him to find that. So I guess it does serve a purpose. And I think since Katie Zen last had him, you've probably been hankering for him still, Katie. Or do you ever get a craving for him, or were they? I forget how forgettable they were for you, the fondue fries. If you actually like them or not.
I mean, I still, honestly, I can't even remember what it tastes like. It's been so long.
Okay, so it didn't really leave an impact on you, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's basically it's the Baconator fries like switched, with fondue instead of cheese.
Right.
So I mean, I get those and I like that, but I mean, if fondue fries ever comes up again, I'll definitely have to.
You'll have to revisit.
I will buy it and I will eat it on the podcast.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that, dude. They're gonna make a reappearance at some point.
It'll be
like
a
they have
seasonal
to.
thing like the McRib.
Yeah, could be.
Oh, okay.
Could be.
All right. Well, as soon as they come out, I'll show up.
All right. Beautiful. Well, I think that's going to do it for episode 264. It's been fun. A lot of things to talk about. I would just say we talked a little bit about that sex study. Maybe we should do our own sex study with a poll, Brad, like a Google poll, and give the same options and see what the KBMOD community responds to as far as stress and relieving stress. Because I think that would be fascinating.
I wonder how many people from the Hodes family.
Yes, the Hodes, I'm sure, would have a lot to say on that. Also, if we do the poll, make sure that you have masturbating to memes as one of the options, because that's probably number one for my kind of own stress relief. But right now, that boy's getting a lot of action, let me tell you. All right. But yeah, thanks to Tim for coming on. It was fun. It was good having you. And check out the KBMOD website. Check out the build guides. Check out the multi-stream. Check out all the different streams that we have. Tim, again, plug your streaming tomorrow, right? On the KBMOD
Yeah,
channel.
tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Continuing Hyper Light Drifter. Amazing game. I played that this past week
yes.
too. But game's amazing. First time playing it, and I am in love with it. So
all right.
Kind of continue that tomorrow.
There you go. So 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Be here. Sorry. Well, and there. I guess if you're listening to this on Tuesday, it's too late. But
Catch the VOD.
Catch the VOD. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time for another thrilling episode. And yeah, we're gonna go now. So
where can they follow us?
Where can they follow us? That's right. I almost forgot. Thank you, Katie. I'm gonna let you take this, Katie, because you reminded me. But
oh shit,
you're ready. You got this. You can do it.
All right.
You got it.
Well, if you want to follow all these fine gentlemen you see on your device or are hearing on your device, you can follow really the only important one at Hutchison. That's at HUTCH1SON on Twitter. You can follow Tim at StuffuNoob. You can follow APL at APL Fisher. You can follow me at KDZen18. And of course, follow KBMOD at KBMOD Gaming. And of course, at KBMOD.com.
All right, there you go.
Boom. That was a 10 out of 10.
Listen,
that was sexy.
Hey, listen, dude, that was sexy. You know what? I think you should everything you just said, you should put in your Tinder profile as your description, and you're just gonna be just exactly that. Transcribe exactly that, and you will be set. I think that's good.
All right,
guys.
Yeah, the first line is just don't forget to follow Hutchison on Twitter.
On Twitter. All right, it's been fun, guys. We will see you later. Farewell.
Yatta!